Yes, people, big up to all of you. Keep dropping the likes on the stream if you're happy. I get it. It's a draw, and we've all been saying for a while that was a draw. You could say a draw that felt like a loss, that feels like a win. And if you agree with me, drop the like on the stream. Let's enjoy this one because nobody gave us a chance. Nobody gave us a chance. The pundits and all that. We did well, and you could say they were actually lucky. I don't care what the says. I will take my time to look at the XG later, but the truth is they were the lucky ones, in my opinion. And yeah, lots of stuff to talk about. The referee did his best, but not without some questionable decisions. But my gosh, this is a draw that feels like a win. And I'm going to catch up with those in the chat and say hello to all of you, and then we can continue. But, bro, people, please keep dropping the likes on the stream. Let's go for it. And the first person here, go Chelsea. Emerald Nyamodo, I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. As for me, I don't count the penalty for Manchester City. That one, I wasn't the penalty, in my opinion. We'll talk about that. We beat them a 4-3, a fair game. That is it. It's it for me. I'm going to say this again. It is a draw that feels like a win for me. Yep, we've been saying a draw that feels like a loss, but this one is a draw that feels like a win. Big up to you, my bro, Mitchie. Oh, yep, we did it. We did it. Honestly, I am happy. Where is Bobby? We played out a 4-4 draw against City, and we could have won, actually, without Chukwuemeka and Nkunku. Hello, Bobby, can you hear me? Yeah, Bobby's concerned, you can say, well, legit in my opinion. Give it to Bobby. Yep, he's going to hear it. Can Constantine then? I know you're very happy, bro, and I am elated. Yep, give it to Bobby. Wow, what a game. I knew it once it started raining. We are going to be in it. Heston, you can say for me, this is the game of the season so far. In all honesty, the negative, don't go that far. He was just concerned. Just leave him be. What a game. We probably just edged that game. Shame not 3 points would have been deserved. The same with Arsenal and Liverpool. But boy, I've always said the big games, the so-called big games, the games that people believe that the opponent are going to mop the floor with us, those are the games who will end up winning, doing well. And that's exactly what's happening. Pull up, Obi Kerere. Nice to see you, brother. Chelsea is, is a team. We're massive, really. Now we just, just to turn up against low blocks. Yeah, we will find a solution to that. Anthony Taylor tried to sell the game to City, but the boys kept fighting. We conceded first. Still, we fought back. And wow, what a game. Let's see, anything else to address? If you're just saying hello, I'm going to skip your comment. Unbelievable indeed, says the Sicilian defense. What a game. Big up. Yep. Big up everyone in the chat. There's something special about us. We're not there yet, but we will get there. Nice to see you, Santiago Muno. Sup, coach, sup, my bro, my assistant in the chat that helps me answer questions. I appreciate you. We are just an elite striker and a winger away from greatness. Wow, what a team. Debayo Makunji, my bro, I know you're very happy. Big up everyone. Game of the season. Yep. I have to say this is the game of the season so far. Sub Dante, let's see if we just made the subs a little earlier. I'm not going to complain. I'm taking it as it is. Honestly, I will not complain. Enzo off needed earlier. He was not on. He started very well, but fizzled out. I am not surprised with how his shin looked. Would have liked Ugo on Ugo came on, but later on, later in the game, Cole Palmer is like Angel Di Maria. I think he's going to be even more better, in my opinion. But nice to see you, Joshua Dan. Nice to see you. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Chelsea showed their youth today, but we are heading to the top. It will take time, but I'm going to be patient for it. And Newman Isaac says, we really showed a fighting spirit. And yeah, we did well. Congratulations, Chelsea family. I'm so proud of you. If you have multiple comments, I'm going to skip a few of your comments to get every other person's comments. Today is the day Chelsea arrived. We played fullbacks, and Gallagher was energy needed. He did well. I get it. He made a few mistakes. It's not perfect, but boy, he's gotten better. Best I have seen in Chelsea shirt for a while. I have to agree with you. Up the Blues, a big up. Yeah, big up to the guys. And Angorika says Palmer is clearly an upgrade on Mount and Havertz combined, actually. Big up, coach. I need to make an announcement. The doomsday announcement was a hoax. Go away. Coach the but JC. Nice to see you, brother. Coach, did you see Doku on the pitch? I remember seeing him on the pitch. Reece James did wow. He pocketed him. He couldn't beat Reece James. He had to find something else to do. Boom, what a game. And an 8-goal thriller. Yep, that's a game. And if you're watching Mr. Adam, don't use more than 2 emojis. Unfortunately, we have a robot that's policing the chat, and if you use multiple emojis, it would delete your chat. So sorry about that. Your message is showing right now, but please don't use multiple emojis. Parma has a higher ceiling than Mount. Man United would never see the UEFA Champions, never see the Champions League version of Mount. Dude made the wrong choice. Mount is the list of my concerns right now. Let them enjoy him, Mr. Angoli. Latif Khalid, we are back. We have to trust the process. I'm not going to say we're back. I'm just going to enjoy this one. Let's go game by game. It was a draw. It feels like a win, and I'm happy. Come on, Blues are very, very happy with the boys. I am elated. I have to let you know. Let's see what else we have here. I cannot wait to see how this team will look with Nkunku. We can only get better. And thank goodness I have never given up on them. You can say we've been making progress, a gradual process. Even games we've lost, you could see that we're making progress. This was kind of a commitment we need from our boys. Very few people predicted today's Chelsea display. I actually thought my prediction on Soccer Perspective was that we were going to win this one. Actually, Palmer, I thought had his worst game. My opinion, no. Coach, I am happy. Poch is transforming the team. Last season, Chelsea's problem was goal scoring, but we are scoring. Yeah. Boy, I am so happy. His magic, Jay-Z. Nice to see you, brother. Poch is the man, and I've always said that. I learned from a Pacma to be quietly arrogant and confident. Yep, that kid. Kindly hit the like button, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Roger, I'm gonna start you with this. No complaint likes right now. We will go back to looking at what we did wrong, what we did right. Isn't this a draw that feels like a win? Let's hear you, Roger.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen. Bobby, how are you, sir? I'll be honest with you. Yeah, it does feel like a victory. I thought we were a bit hard done by my interpretation on the penalty, the first penalty. I believe if you foul first, yes, I understand Cucurella was holding him, but this chap can't bring him down when you look at the size disparity. So I thought it was enhanced, and I thought it was a bad call. And as usual,
it was a bad call because you start from the first foul, right?
Yeah, you do. And so
if you're going to go back, if a team scores and you have to go back to go check whether there's a foul before the goal, then you start from the first foul in that incident too. So go ahead,
well,
Richard. Thank
you. Even before that, you're looking at a potential head injury to Reece James. He's holding his head, so the ref should have stopped play. But I mean, I'm being pedantic here, but I just thought it was a really poor call, and I would say the same had we actually been given that same penalty, hypothetically, if Haaland was Jackson, vice versa, I would have been saying we were rather fortuitous to get that penalty because I don't think it was deserved. I thought the team, for the most part, I thought Sanchez, from a goal-stopping perspective, had a good game, solid game.
He did, yeah.
Distribution at times was, but on the carpet, he made some lovely passes. Listen, there are some things we're going to probably dissect the game to the nth degree over the next couple of weeks, and which is a great prerogative, right? But I thought, for the most part, Chelsea were just as good, if not better, than City. And I know we took
it to them. We took the game to them. We didn't fear them.
Yeah, this was a heavyweight title fight. It was like the Thriller in Manila kind of thing, And I'll be honest with you, they were fortuitous because they got a deflected shot. None of our shots were deflected. And I'm going to have to say something about Palmer. I thought that was an incredibly composed penalty. I didn't think he would go that high. That's unstoppable. And you look at one of the best goalkeepers in the world. So listen, to be that young and be that composed. I'm watching the replay on TV that Sky are playing, and you know, when you look at Haaland, he knew nothing about that ball. They actually got lucky on a couple of goals,
Mhm.
3 goals actually. If you
Yeah,
really want to be picky, like for instance, had we scored their goals and vice versa, you would hear most of the pundits going, you know what, Chelsea were fortuitous, but you'll never hear them say that about
yeah,
City.
it's all about how good City is, how they draining the life of all of us by keeping the ball and all that, yada yada. But that's, by the way, I'm gonna catch up with what we have in the chat, Bobby. Just give me a few seconds, I'll come back to you. Let's hear you. And the question is, don't you feel like this is a draw that feels like a win? In my opinion, 8 goals into yeah, exactly. We've been scoring. Yeah. Palmer, my Rasta brother, born in the New Star, Lion Palmer. Cold Palmer is the name they call him. This guy is a baller. I came off the season and Petr will watch this game, go home and keep crying and regret why he didn't try to convince him to stay. But that's his thing. Once you show a sign that you want to leave, he lets you go. The first penalty was given too easily, if you ask me. Yep, we don't think it's one, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Because you have to start with where did the foul start? I was a bit scared when Casado was subbed up for Mudrik. It was a strategy that worked, actually. Not a penalty. It's that simple. VAR didn't do its job again. They did not. Maybe because it was Chelsea. I remember on ESPN pundits were discussing on Nunes, Jackson, and the Man U striker from Syria, the one that's the Hoyland, who will score more goals so far before the international break. Nunes has 4. Jackson has a 6. Yeah. Proud of my team. They thought it was going to be easy. Yep. But remember, I've always been telling you guys, those run of games, the so-called run of big games that you guys think they're going to mop the floor with us. At the games, I'm confident that we're going to do well. It turns out that's the case. It's Anthony Taylor, so I was expecting something like that. Half of the fan base is still mourning. I don't care, and I'm gonna go back to Twitter and start cooking people. Edson is short, so yeah, anything higher, he doesn't get it, and he was lucky. You could say. Let me just give him credit. He did well for that Rhys James's penalty, in my opinion. At the end, whom was Pochettino so furious with? The manager, the referee.
The
I heard.
ref.
The ref. Yep. Poch was at the ref. Yep, I agree with you. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Just quickly, if you're watching and if you haven't, please do take a second, drop a like on the stream. And the likes do go a long way. We sincerely do appreciate you. And if you're following us on, Facebook, let me give you a secret. Join us here on YouTube. If you do, you get a chance to win at least a $50 if you're a student. And we didn't do one for last month, which means the one for this month will be double. You get a chance to win at least $100. To be honest, let's go. Let's come to you, Bobby. Your mindset automatically, yeah, I know, have changed. And if you remember, I told you at the time that I totally understand where your points are. You can say are coming from. But let's hear you. Doesn't this feel again like a draw? Isn't this a draw that feels like a win, Bobby? Let's hear you.
You know, first of all, what an astonishing game.
Game of the season so far.
I
Hola.
really did not 2 games of the season in a week, and I'm watching it again. I'm just so aghast at what we did here today. Look, first of all, flowers to you, coach. You know, you were resolute. You know, I like Chelsea people that stick by Chelsea. I didn't not stick by Chelsea. I never not stick by my club. It's just I couldn't see a way
You
through
were just
because,
concerned, and it's natural, in my opinion.
well,
But everybody
it's
was
more than
surprised
that.
at you.
I
Everybody was surprised that that was coming from Bobby. I have to be honest with
I
you, and
I
I'm quite sure you were
couldn't
reading the chat too. But it's all love. Go ahead.
I couldn't see a way through based on Man City's artillery and Chelsea's artillery. We're under strength. We're still under strength. We're still ill prepared. But you see, what we have, we showed them no fear. I think that was the recipe today. You
Mhm.
know, I remember there was a platform I was on last night, whether it was yours or Mitchie's, and I gave the analogy of Mike Tyson and the Buster Douglas fight in
Yep.
Japan in the
It
80s.
was Mitch's channel.
where Buster Douglas just went into the ring without fear and just threw everything at this incredible champion and beat him. This is what we did today. This game was like, you're saying it's like a draw that feels like a win. I'm saying it's like a draw that feels like we should have won. Anthony Taylor was generous as always. Their penalty was generous, to say the absolute
Soft.
least. Soft. It wasn't a penalty.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
as
I
simple
know.
as that. You know,
Yeah.
there was a foul committed by Haaland on Cucurella, and Cucurella's was the second foul. Therefore, no penalty. But of course, he gives that to them. I think
So,
the
so
fortuitous
isn't that a
side was
clear and
Man City. Man City actually scored through a dodgy penalty and through a deflection that was more of an own goal than a Rodri goal. I think there was a penalty that should have been given against them. The only thing I will say was that maybe it wasn't in the box, maybe it was just outside the box, but VAR didn't go and replay it or even check it for us
Mhm,
to know.
mhm.
I think we came up against a more mature, a more rehearsed, a more prepared side, and I think, in my opinion, and this is not talking with my blue tinted glasses, I think we did better. I
Yeah,
really
we did
do.
well.
I
We
think
deserve to win that game. Yeah.
I think we performed better. I think our game plan was executed. You know, a lot of one or two players showed their age, like Malo Gusto and the way he missed that chance, you know, some
yeah.
of the things he was
But
doing.
still, good
But
draw and good attempt.
well, you're good at he got into the right position, but really he shouldn't be fluffing those sort of chances. But that's his age, you know. Talking about age, crikey! In the last few minutes, as usual, Ugo Chuku comes on, and the defense looks more solid. Look, and another thing I really have to say emphatically now, I am sick and tired of these people talking about Gallagher. Conor Gallagher was a monster today.
He really
We have
was.
physical deficiencies in terms of our physicality is less than a lot of these teams. Man City and all that. He was a monster in the midfield. He was our best midfielder. I thought he was better than both Enzo and Caicedo. And I don't say that lightly. And for anybody coming to start talking with Conor Gallagher,
Just
Conor
let's talk
Gallagher,
about the game, Bobby. They will always talk about him. You know that. Let's just talk
he
about the game.
this is part of the game. He
Mhm.
played the captain's role when Reece James came off, and rightly so. Look at that. We had to sub our captain. Why? Because he's still recovering from injury. We
Yep.
had to bring on our striker later. Why? Because he's still recovering from injury. All our key players out injured, and we played the might of Man City this way. I think we should be very proud of ourselves. I think we have to take these players. Hopefully, they're not going away on internationals. People like Broja and that. I'm not having that. They need to recover. They need to stay at Chelsea. They need to prepare for the next game. I think we should be very proud of what we did. I think we were unfortunate not to win this game.
I agree.
5-4, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And you know, I just think City. I mean, if you listen to Rodri's interview, he was like, "Crikey, I've been in a game today, mate. I'm tired." You know, and he said, "Look, you have to give it to the opposition. You know, these boys came here and they were not afraid. They really gave it to us, and that is so true." And of course, the biased interviews with Sterling and Palmer, trying to make them feel guilty for scoring against Man City and all that nonsense. You know, I'm sick of this crap that we get all the time. Fortunately, even Micah Richards had to say, look, you've got to be, you know, you've got to show respect to this Chelsea team. What they did here today was astonishing. I didn't expect it. I have to say, I didn't expect it. But when these boys came out and went toe to toe with the treble winners, crikey, I think we have to have hope now. We have to
Oh,
trust the
mhm.
process.
We should. We should. Let's give those in the chat the microphone because they're part of the conversation. Bobby, you know how we operate here, so I'll come back to you guys. Yep, keep laughing there. Coach, you are lucky we didn't win. You don't have to give out $100. Here's the thing. I'm a man of my words, honestly. Giveaways, I like helping people. In my opinion, that's who I am. Not naturally. Had we won, I would do that. But yeah, but to me, it still feels like we won this game. Or let me just go with Bobby. Again, we should have won, but I can't just look at this game and say I'm not happy that we didn't win. No, I'll take it the way it is. Big up
No,
coach,
I'm
great performance.
happy for sure. I
No, I'm
mean, a
saying I
draw.
understand. I understand, Bobby. I understand where you're coming from. You're just making the point clear that they were fortuitous. Let me speak like Roger. Use Roger's language. So that's where my point is coming from. Big up, coach. A great performance from the players and manager. I have to say, can Broya stay fit? He has the center forward presence. Jackson should be at least on a 10 goals. Missed some many sitters in previous games. I forgive him that he just keeps scoring. At least if he's averaging a single game per game, I'll take it. But just let Jackson be Jackson. Is Jackson a true number 9? I'd say no. I wouldn't even call him a hybrid number 9. But he's a player. He's working. Just let Jackson be Jackson, and believe me, he would do well. And I think
He
he should
took
be
his
high
goal
on
well,
confidence right now.
coach.
Just give me a few seconds, Bobby. The pride of London. You can say that louder. Kudos to Kuku. Kuku was excellent today. Also kept his calm and played well. Post penalty kick. He has that left up back position unlocked. That I think I agree with you. I don't even know that whether Benchwell. I don't actually count him as a Chelsea player anymore. Chelsea Lions. CBR 100. I appreciate you. Avoid using all caps so that your messages aren't deleted. It's a hard call. Who's man of the match? We'll get to that in a bit. Let me highlight this. We get to that in a bit. Honestly, even if Raheem Sterling takes it, I'll give it to him. Even though he's you can say my least favorite players favorite player at Chelsea. Anthony Taylor giving points to City. You could say that. Also, surprisingly, I must humbly admit my error of judgment and applaud Pochettino for consistently surpassing expectations. He did well. A lot of people didn't give us a chance. And there you go. We're here now. And the says if he's shaping the team like this in 4 months or one can only imagine his potential over the next 2 or 3 years. Pochettino is truly excellent in his role. I think he's done well with this young new team, in my opinion. Yeah, probably last year. This says Gallagher is a monster. Exactly, boys. Honestly, give him credit when it's due. I'm going to still say he's not my favorite player at Chelsea, but boy, what he offers to this team, no other player we have right now can offer that. Plus, he's added more to his game. He's so confident right now. You wouldn't even recognize that you're seeing the same Gallagher we saw last season. And that is strictly my opinion. Gallagher has surprised us by performing much better than we thought he's capable of. I always wanted him to stay. I knew if anybody will help him become better as a player, that person is Mauricio Pochettino, and it's happening now. Sakono Gallagher, I agree with you. Gala did okay. He was kind of missing. Well, just overall, he did well. Just go with that. Yeah, I know he's not your customer, but leave him be, bro. Gallagher has made me a believer. Yeah, Newcastle feeling like, whatever you say there, we're going to have to pack the bus against Chelsea. Maybe they will. Oscar, nice to see you, Oscar. Big up to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join. He was playing to forward, and they were just passing around him most of the time. I'd rather him play again. He did well. Let me just leave it at that. Honestly, Starling was man of the match. If he gets it, I'm not going to argue against it. He did well today. Just like we can say that this game was a moral win, you should consider that that coach just dish out $100. Yeah, it happened. But didn't happen, but happened. You know what I mean? I totally understand. Chelsea really surprised me, especially Starling. Hope the team will continue to develop and improve. I love the team spirit. I love it. More importantly, it was a spirited performance. Starling showed up. Yeah, and it has not been up to 7 games yet. Anthony Taylor needs to go back to championship. I think so, Mr. Wisdom. I think so too. and Chemical. The lads made my day. All of us. You can see how I'm sounding. Chelsea, Helen, Dunyade, Helen. I hope you're happy. Thank you so much for joining. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Wow, 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 wow. Yep, what a game. What a game. Jackson should please set up his step up his game. I think he can only get better. Where are all the people who labeled him as the Argentine pot? With Chelsea again, let's not talk about the manager. Let's give the team a credit, which includes the manager. I think they all did well. Oscar, big up to you. Ooh, I like saying your name. Ooh, what a game. Believe me, game of the season so far. Chelsea is getting there. When the team finally integrates, who would be a force to be reckoned with? No question. We're getting there. Let's hear you, Bobby. You wanted to say something. You have the floor now.
Yeah, I mean, people are talking about Jackson. You know, Jackson is not a striker, and he took his goal well. He reacted before
Yeah.
everybody else, and he scored. What, you know? I mean, I just can't. For me, anyone attacking any of these boys here today, even Gusto, just should be ashamed of themselves. You know, these kids went out there and they played a game. They showed they can go toe to toe with the best. They need time, they need more rehearsals on the training pitch, and they will be formidable. They need their players back from injury, and they need to buy maybe one or two extra here and there. This is a solid team. I don't want to hear, oh, if Lavia comes back, what we're going to do with Gallagher. The better, more informed player plays. The other one beefs up the squad. This is a squad game. Look at
Yeah.
Man City's squad. Look at what they had on the bench. They could do nothing to us today. They scored 4 goals and we still came back. I don't think people really understand what that means in terms of the two teams and in terms of the caliber of the two teams. We need to sit back and reflect on what has happened, and it should give us a lot of hope with this project. Really, for me, I did not give us a chance. Honestly, I did not see where we could hurt this team. But boy, was I wrong. I mean, crikey, heart, spirit, good tactics, implementing tactics, and you can do anything.
Yep, I do agree with you. Yep, so yep, I can't. I don't know. I don't even know how to say that right. The Ronaldo thing. Palma gameplay is worth more than the amount we spent on him. I'm telling you. What's his name? Will go home and he will start crying. Pep. It was an open game. It was, and we took it to them. Really, we played Man City, and it was indeed a good game. We didn't sit back. Kovacic. Well, I don't think so. I'm glad we let him go, even though I liked him. And I'm one of those that preached we should have let him go. But he wanted a fresh challenge. He has one again before him right now. Trust Todd Bowley, and I think we have to. I've always trusted them. Do I think they made mistakes? But I've moved on from their mistakes. They've done so many stuff that you can say outweighs the mistakes that they've made. If you understand, if you can see. If you can take your time to sit back and sit down and take a look at what they've done so far, honestly, you know the future is ours, and I'm confident that will be the case. All good. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see. Palma is a baller, and yeah, some people question Chelsea paying that much money for him. Pundits alike, Chelsea fans alike. Now look at the kid. At just 21, is he? I think at most 22, but I think he's still 21. Roger, let's hear you. Your cousin on the day. Before we even talk about him, let's look at his numbers. He turned it up.
Yeah, I only have one question.
Yeah.
Why can't he do this on a consistent basis?
Have I asked that question before myself?
Let's be honest, but listen, he was excellent today. You cannot take anything away from him.
And the nutmeg, did you picture that?
Several. I think there was 2 nutmegs he had. Listen,
no, let's look at his numbers quickly. Let's look at his numbers. Let's see what we have here. Bali needs to bring back Musiala. Then I will forgive him. Good luck getting Musiala. Bali buys installing in Cucurella and looking bad at the moment. They're not. Just Cucurella has been consistent of late. Raheem Sterling just needs to be consistent. But the dribble thing, I can assure you, he actually did bad in that department. But I said I don't fear teams that doesn't sit back. I don't. I've said that 1,000 times. Confidence is surely back now. Defense still lacks. You can say, yeah. With the return of Nkunku, Chelsea will be cooking a very delicious meal. One I will never miss. Roger. Roger, it was a raining Stalin's love. The raining helps him. Yeah, you could say that too. Palmer stole the midfielder from City. Oh, he was excellent on the day. That was a risky that we took the pen with Palmer. Yeah, you take a risk, and he's shown you he has the confidence. That's why they call him Cold Palmer. Don't disrespect him next time when you hear his name. And why is that? When Chelsea are playing with the top clubs, they play well. It's you have you been William Newton? Have you not been paying attention? I'm going to say this, but I think it changes now. Charity FC is well and truly in existence. A Charity FC, which is those mid-table team, but here's the correct definition of it. They sit back, and we struggle to break down our opposition that sit back or that defend deep, for lack of a better language, if that makes sense. Roger, if our cousin Starling can consistently deliver performance like this, he is a warmly embraced. Is there any expectation that he can sustain this level? I don't know. Maybe if the team starts playing well consistently, he can, because Man City, he performed consistently for them. All the boys today, the pride of London. Yes, that's what we are. Yes, let's hope it's not an anomaly for Starling. I hope so too. Kudos to Poch. He has been tempted to take off Jackson at a 3-2, but he rather brought on Broya. Yep. We are winning the Carabao Cup. I hope so. This a tough run of games isn't looking that bad now. I've always said that I'm not too concerned about us playing the big boys. But let's say Uncle Justice is in the house, the Texan man. Welcome, Uncle Justice. I like that. Welcome. Let's hear you. Let me start you with the question I asked everybody else before we look at Raheem Sterling's numbers. Doesn't this draw feel like a win? I get it, and Bobby is right. We could have won, actually, had it not been that they were fortuitous. Rogers, thank you for teaching me. Roger, thank you for teaching me that word, by the way. Uncle Justice, let's hear you. Doesn't this feel like a win, even though it ended in a draw? But let's hear you. Your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can say that now. We can't say that in the next year, right? Now, from where we've been, this does, because we went down not one time, not two times, not three times, but four times in this match, and we still came back and showed heart. We showed
not quite. We did take the lead once.
Yeah, there was three.
We led at one point.
Okay,
yeah, go ahead.
You're fine, fine. But it felt like we came back four times.
It feels like that. Yeah.
But that's what I remember when I was talking about the Tottenham game, when I came on and I said I want us to be up 2-1, and I want Son to score because I want us to see it out. You know, when you come up with it against adversity, you want to see how the team is going to do, right? You want to see how they respond. That is the first sign that you're on the right track, that you're playing together as a singular unit, and that you're going forward and not back. The first sign is when adversity comes up, the next guy picks the other guy up. And so in this game, we had a lot of people that had some adversity, but somebody stepped up, their teammate stepped up and picked them up. So when you start to see that, and you start to see us play and get up for these big games like this, it's just a matter of, okay, we've shown that we can do it against the big clubs when the game is open, when it's all fluid. Now we got to do it against the small clubs. We got to erase them like City do for the most part. Once you see that, and I think you'll see that this year when Nkunku comes back and when Lavia comes back, because you can change the game a ton with those two players. As Poch did today with his changing of the midfield and the forward line in the last 15 minutes of the game. Everybody, to a man, was like, oh, why are you taking Enzo off? Oh, you can't take Caicedo off. Well, you keeping Nicholas Jackson on, and where's Broya? He brought all those people on, and guess what? We drew because of his substitutions. So it's about cohesiveness in the unit, which we're starting to see. Yes, Enzo and Caicedo were probably subpar today. I thought Caicedo was better than Enzo. I know Enzo has a knock. He's playing with a knock.
Mhm.
That's not an excuse. If you're fit to play on the pitch, you got to perform at the same level. You can't say, "Well, I played down because I had a knock." Well, then don't play, right? Then let somebody else get a chance, because we played a little bit better once he came off and Gallagher dropped into the double pivot, because we put more an offensive, more speed on the pitch, and we all know speed kills.
Yeah, speed kills indeed. Honestly, I am so elated now. I'm not, but I'll see what I can do. I just feel like making someone else happy. But let's see if I can. I'll see what I can do. Roger, let me ask you this question before we start looking at Raheem Sterling's numbers. But just give me 1 second here. Poch made much better subs today. I think I agree with you. Let the team continue to play for each other and utilize any scoring chances. The confidence are gradually increasing. I love this team. Blue is really the color, and I totally believe that. No questions. Yes, he did. Dante here saying Casado got yellow, then got turned a couple of times when City scored the goal. Yeah, I think at one point he got tired. He looked tired and should have been taken out earlier. That's the only time would have liked Ugo to come in on time. Roger, let's hear you. We talked about the importance of us beating sports. This is a draw, but I think this is a confidence booster too in so many ways. We drew this game, but we won in so many ways. Confidence for the young kids. They don't fear any team now, no matter how big you are, in my opinion. That's but let's hear you, Roger. How important is this winner for this young Chelsea side?
Yeah, it gives the momentum going forward. It really does. And I just listened to an interview with Pep Guardiola that basically, I'm paraphrasing here, but he stated Liverpool couldn't win here. Arsenal drew with them and Chelsea were the better team. And obviously they beat Spurs. So yeah, he's right. This was a very good performance, probably the best of the season, I would say, slightly better than the Arsenal game when you consider the opposition. We also had multiple opportunities to actually win the game. And yes, we can go to Malagustu, just hitting it over the bar. And then you're looking at Palmer inside the box where if he had gone down due to the challenges, I think there's a good chance he may have been given another PK. So listen, I don't. This isn't the type of game that we came away with saying, "Wow, we were lucky to get a draw." We did well. We parked the bus. We didn't. We went toe to toe with them, jab to jab, uppercut to uppercut. It was a bloody entertaining, good game, and I loved the fact that most of the time we were in a 4-4-2 formation. We used that box 4 midfield, and I think that's what we did against Arsenal, and it stifled their midfield. Don't get me wrong, we were open at times, but still, when you consider this level of opposition, and when you consider that penalty they were given was, to me, that's an obvious error. So I'm a little bit befuddled as to why it wasn't overruled, because we were fouled first. But then the deflection, our goals were not fortuitous. Theirs were to a certain extent. They're a great team. Let's take nothing away from them. And they came out, they were missing a couple of players, but then so were we. We're missing more than a couple. So I thought Chelsea, when you look at the level of opposition and how we've played, I'm a little bit. My only thing is, from a defensive standpoint, when we have Enzo on the field and Caicedo, Cucurella, there is a height disparity, shall we say, on set pieces, and it showed. Who was marking? I think it was Cucurella was marking bloody Haaland. I mean, it was a mismatch, on a couple of occasions. And
Roger, just quickly, there's something. This is not the first time we're talking about how we don't organize ourselves well during a set piece. We don't. You can say what's his name? The Sassy marking a shorter player and Cucurella marking an even taller player.
Yeah.
But I've seen teams where you see the leader in the back line pointing, you go mark this guy, you go mark this guy. Or even Cucurella himself could say, this guy is too big for me. You come for me, let me go for the other guy. I think we've considered from that scenario of you could say
mismatches.
our players marking a taller player in set piece situations. I think we need to sort that out. But go ahead.
Well, I think
let
I,
that not take anything away from us right now. Let's hear you,
no,
Roger.
no,
Sorry.
but I think it's a matter of numbers where we don't have enough tall players. You know, you're looking at Enzo that is not exactly in the NBA. You're looking at Cucurella, ditto. So there is that disparity, and Bobby brings this up often, and it's rightfully so. Obviously, I think it was their second goal, the header just before halftime. I was hoping that we could get to halftime with a 2-1 lead, but obviously it didn't transpire. But I thought, the commentators are saying that it's a hybrid of zone and man-to-man marking for set pieces. I take their word for it. I still felt really disappointed that we conceded that goal going into the halftime. However, we showed grit and determination and moxie, etc. I thought at times we outplayed them, and we were just as good, if not better than them, in so many facets
I
of
have
the
to
game.
say our interplays was delicious to watch, especially in the first half.
Yeah, the first 15 minutes, I was like, wow, this is going to be a bloody great game. I just hope we can keep it up, and we did. And the tempo, the first half, the tempo was breathtaking. I must admit, this is one of the best games of the season, regardless of who played. It was an end to end, like an NBA game. It was enthralling.
Yeah, before I ask Bobby the same question, Uncle, just there's a question for you on the screen. Would you mind answering that? It says, Uncle just says, what was the source of the frustration directed at the referee?
From me or from everybody? Look,
I'm not sure. So maybe he's not specific enough, right?
Well, I think he's talking about Poch.
I don't know what I didn't see Poch's reaction, but look, let's be honest. We know if Anthony Taylor is reffing the game, we're already 1-0 down before the game starts, and that was solidified in the first 5 minutes of the game, right? So you're getting at least one call that's going to change the game against you from Anthony Taylor. He's done it in every game. The guy's a bold fraud. We all know this. So, but I don't want to sit there and belabor the point. Look, it happens. Yeah. Your bad calls go against you. Good teams rise above it and get a result, which we did today. So I'm not going to complain about it. It is what it is. Every team is going to face bad refereeing calls, except for City. They usually don't. All of theirs usually get spot on.
Which was why when I asked the question, why wasn't again? Was it Walcott? Why wasn't he? He finished this game without a card. I couldn't believe it. And you told me because he plays for City. He should at least be yellow carded.
Well, he's not going to get yellow carded. It is what it is. We all know that certain refereeing decisions go for certain teams, and certain teams don't get it. You can complain, you can make shows about it, and make your headline. So and so was robbed by this. So and so was robbed by that. But this game is called football, and the aim of the game is to score more than your opponent does. Good teams will overcome bad refereeing decisions in any sport. Bad teams or teams that play badly on the day will capitulate, and they'll lose. And then they'll blame the referees for poor performances. Well, we overcame a referee's bad call. Overcame it.
Yeah, we
did. Why can't other teams? Why can't Man United? Why can't Arsenal? Why can't Liverpool? This is what it's all about, folks. When adversity rises, do you crumble or do you overcome? That's life in general.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Let's give those in the chat the microphone. We have to still look at Raheem Sterling's numbers. Uncle just says I can't. Well, I've read that one, and this saying, Bobby, just give me a few seconds. I'll come back to you. We played Doku out of the game, and Pep had to substitute him. James dealt with him effectively. The scoring chances from the team is what we have all wanted. Yep. And we're becoming even more clinical as the game by game. What is wrong with Mihailo Mudryk? His game is dangerous, and yet he isn't ready to put himself together. I think he did well. He did well. He led to one of the goals we scored, and I think remember he got injured, and you can say that derailed him a bit. I think he'll be back and playing for us. So don't worry too much about him. The mentality was poor towards the end. Absolutely capitulated for no reason. Wow, you're alone on this one, Chimera. In my opinion, yeah, we have a bit of problem not closing out games, but this is young players. Yep, in terms of managing games, I agree. We need to improve on that aspect. Big up to you too, Kishan. Appreciate you joining. You don't need height to fight for the ball. No, the question is when it's a dead ball situation, you know it. The ball will not come into the box in the carpet. It will come in the air. Yeah, the ball wasn't on the carpet. When you're quite sure they're not going to play the ball on the carpet, that's when you try to switch height. You can say you go mark the other guy. He's taller than me, and I'll mark this guy and think I can handle him. Something like that. A simple organization that will go a long way. Let's see anything else. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Mitchie, when you get a chance to share the link to your YouTube channel so people can go check it out. Let's help you get to 2,000 as soon as possible. Is Rodri suspended for Liverpool game? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to that. Sterling is my man of the match. Yep, I think most valuable player. I think he was excellent on the day. Nutmegs and all that. Anybody embarrassed? I'm not. I will never be. We won this game, in my opinion. We won in so many ways. Anthony Taylor will be physically assaulted if he officiates like this in the championship. He's horrible. Yeah. Ref was very, very lenient. Not many yellows. Yeah. Kyle Walker shouldn't have finished that game without a yellow at least. Taylor is always the 12th man against us. You could argue that, but let's see what else we have here. Yeah, enjoying a breakfast of bacon. Okay, enjoy. Thank you. I don't have to read that to people and make them hungry. Coach, if Newcastle no chop trust me, I owe you. Okay. Don't say that. Let's see you, Bobby. Before we get to looking at Raheem Sterling's numbers, how important is this game? The win against Tottenham was important, very, very important. Now this is it's a draw. I get it, but when the players that look at it, they say we could have won this. We were just unlucky, and they were lucky to have gotten a draw. I think they were startled. They didn't know we were going to be that good. How important will this draw be for these young players?
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head. I don't think City quite knew we would be that good. And I think it's huge. It's massive for the confidence of the players, the belief in what they're doing, and the belief in themselves. I have to completely disagree with is it Uncle Jesters or so? You know, this narrative that Anthony Taylor is a bad referee, he does this. No, he doesn't do this. It's not a coincidence that all his mistakes when he's officiating Chelsea games is against Chelsea. He's never made a mistake for Chelsea. And to just sit quietly and say, oh, it happens, we have to go and do better. No, I will scream from the rooftops until that guy is kicked out of football. He's a fraud. He's a corrupt referee. He has an agenda and he plays it out on the field. And why the FA continuously give this guy not only high profile games but Chelsea games is beyond me. We can't be quiet. If it was Liverpool fans, they would never be quiet. If it was Man United fans, they would never be quiet. Why do people always expect Chelsea to be quiet and take things? We have injured players out. We have to keep quiet. Oh, we can manage. No, we sing from the rooftops. We're struggling. Let it be known and let it keep being known until people understand what we're about. No, Anthony Taylor is a fraud. He's a lucky man that he referees in this country because I tell you what, if this was in South America or some of these other places, he would have been physically assaulted. Honestly, he would have been physically assaulted. And, you know, God forbid, I'm not calling for this, but, you know, probably even worse, you know. So I think what he's doing is absolutely unacceptable. You know, people talk about Raheem Sterling. Yeah, he was massive today. He really, you know, went for this game. You look, was it a perfect game? No. There were flaws. You know, the equalizing second goal, Thiago Silva should have headed that out. You know, allowing Akanji that opportunity was almost unacceptable.
Unchallenged, yeah.
I
Yeah, I
think
mean,
what
he-
happened,
whoa,
he
whoa,
jumped
whoa,
too
whoa, whoa, whoa,
early.
whoa, whoa.
He jumped too early,
he
but by the time the ball gets to him, he was landing. But still give him
yeah,
credit.
I
I
mean,
think
he
let's move
for
on
a
from
play
that. Yeah.
for a player of his caliber, you know, you need to. But you see, that is part of our deficiencies. This lack of that sort of physicality and players to head balls out in those situations. I mean, people, you know, before the game, they come on, you know, criticizing Desassi. Oh, he's not this, that, or and the other. Desassi was sterling today. He really did not put a foot wrong. I thought he was massive today for us at the back. He gave us the physicality we so sorely lack. You know, we are a team that is in desperate need of physicality. And, you know, if we're going to be making any more purchases, especially as strikers and things like that, we got to look at players with some height because, you know, that's a problem. That's a big problem for us.
All right.
But, you
We'll
know,
get to
this,
that. In all honesty, I'm just enjoying this win right now. But go ahead, Bobby.
yeah,
After that,
I
we'll
mean,
look at Raheem Sterling's numbers. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's not a day to really, you know, attack the things that are wrong. Honestly, I am so astonished that we were able to play to this level. And this should give us all belief, especially the players, and especially people like Jackson has now got what, 6 goals? Come on.
Yeah. That's not easy. Yeah, thank you, Bobby. Coach, I told you Chelsea would play against Anthony Taylor. We won the battle for now. You can argue we did well enough. This win is a mentality booster, confidence booster, whatever you want to call it. And I just want to hear Roger say again, we went against them uppercut to uppercut. I can't forget the other ones he mentioned, but I
Yeah.
liked it, Roger. We always play to our competition. I think, yeah, that's the language, the simplest form to explain why we do well against, you can say the tough, or you can say the so-called big boys, and then falter against the mid-table and the bottom-table teams. Anthony Taylor is a fraud. Wow. I believe the Chelsea fan base should support Poch and not be overly concerned about the current league standards. It's unlikely that we will find a better manager anytime soon, especially if you're talking about the number of young players we'll have. And if you're following us on Facebook, find us on YouTube, A Chelsea Perspective. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. You get a chance to win at least $50 every month if you are a student. That's the caveat. I don't know if I should call it caveat or just the only thing you need to know. Good game to all Chelsea fans. So what an absolute for us. Wow. You've been truthful there. Okay. You lot did almost everything right to annoy us. Very impressive. And for top six, you could do it. I mean, it was a good game of football. Neutrals will enjoy that. Absolutely. So let's see. For Raheem Sterling, he played 90 minutes, rating 8.0. Is he the highest rated Chelsea player? I think it's on par with Gallagher 8.0 on the day. One goal he scored, assist, none. Okay, total shots, two. Accurate passes, 15 of 25. Not really bad. I can more than 50%. Chances created, one. Expected goals 0.50. Expected goals on target 0.98. Expected assists 0.14. Let's move on to that one. And shot accuracy 1 out of 250%. Not bad. Touches 54. Touches in opposition box 4. Successful dribbles 3 out of 9. Roger, did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I
still
got
be
it.
crap in this department. As well as he did, even if he scores 10 goals. Check Raheem Sterling's dribble success. He will always be poor. He hardly gets to 50% in that one. And I say that even without looking at it. It passes into the final third. Accurate passes, 0. Crosses 0 out of 3. Offsides 1. Dispossessed 1 time. Yeah, I think overall you can say defense. Let's see interceptions. I think he made a very good interceptions inside the box. Defensive actions 7 in total. Recoveries 8. That's a high for an attacking player.
This is what stood out. This is what stood out for me with him. It wasn't so much what he did with the ball. It's actually he confounded players. You know, he actually was a stopgap on several occasions, which we don't normally see. Let's be honest. So
yeah.
But this begs the question: why can he not do this on a consistent basis?
I don't know really. And that's the question you and I have been asking for for 1,000 years now. Go ahead, Roger. Sorry.
But he was solid today. Let's be honest.
It was.
He had an outstanding game, and I wouldn't have any objections if he was given man of the match. I don't think
I
anyone
wouldn't
can
either,
deny
yeah.
that. It went to Palmer, I believe, but I have both players played outstanding. I thought he was consistent. He also made intelligent runs, none more so than the actual goal he scored. A great run, and that's what's been lacking from this team time and time again. You know, obviously
Yeah.
it takes time to build this on the training ground, but yeah, he's doing what he did at City, make very intelligent runs to the near and far post, and it worked for us today, and that was a good thing, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I do agree with you, Uncle Justice. Let's hear you. Do you want to talk about Raheem Sterling, or do you have any other player you have in mind that you feel like stood out for you from again Chelsea players?
Well, I think a lot of players played well today.
Yeah.
What I would say is, if you can, Raheem, if you can get up for this game, why can't you get up for the lesser teams and do this against
Exactly.
I mean, come on. Great. We're praising you because you got up to play the best team who you used to play for, and probably have a little chip on your shoulder because you weren't given the time and thought you were forced out. Whatever it is, my guy, I got to see this against every team, or for me, it doesn't matter. Great. You put it,
yeah.
you put in a performance every once in a while, and I'm supposed to be happy about that. I'll give you your flowers today, but the next game, it should be the same thing. Doesn't matter who we play. You need to stay at this level. And I just want to circle back on one point, if I could.
Go ahead.
We talk about height and physicality, but if you'll notice, that was the second ball that was played in, and Akanji was not tracked by two midfielders. It wasn't on Silva. There was Conor Gallagher and Enzo Fernandez standing right there with their hands on their hip. And they didn't track him.
Yeah, Enzo stepped up. They did a breakdown at half time. Enzo stepped up, and it was his man to mark, apparently.
Well, I don't know. They were both sitting there on the penalty spot together. And so, you can blame, everybody wants to seemingly blame Thiago Silva. He did score a goal today, and he does marshal our defense for the most part. Thiago Silva's class. And if you're nut in the world is to go after Thiago Silva, you're going to be a lonely old nut by yourself over there, man.
But here's the thing, at 58, man,
yeah,
he still looks like he's 20. I think what has carried him so far, two things. He takes good care of himself, his footballing intelligence. Those two things, in my opinion.
And genetics.
Yeah, you could argue, yeah, because a lot of people do what he's doing and probably not as fit as he is. Is Bobby now aligned with Poch? Bobby has always been aligned with Poch. I think Bobby's concerns stem from his, you could say, the fact that he's a Chelsea through and through, always concerned. Again, and Bobby was different today. Even a lot of people in the chat were saying that doesn't sound like Bobby, because what he was saying at the time did come across to a lot of people as being negative. But I understood he was just concerned. He didn't have the confidence that we were going to get such good results.
I would label it as not negative. I would label it as being apprehensive.
Exactly. He was being apprehensive. Yep. But it did come across to a lot of people as he was being negative, because that was they haven't heard him speak like that. He's always, even when we had a village of injured players out, he still come out and say, I think we can get something from this, but we just have to do this, do the other thing. But it happens to all of us, not just him. But yeah, because Bobby is a popular figure here. Whenever such happens, everybody takes note. I recall his critical comments when Pochettino was initially appointed. Not just him, lots of the local fans, lots of the more traditional fans were concerned, and down to the fact that he coached Tottenham. To me, that's the least of my concerns right now. And I'm quite sure Bobby knows that Pochettino is the man for the job. So let's hear you. Any other player you want us to look at? Uncle Justice, let's just pick a player there. We started by looking at Roger's cousin Raheem Sterling, and something we got correct is that his dribble success rate will still be low, and it turns out he was. But let's hear you.
I would say Reece James.
Okay, let's look at James.
I mean, the guy's been out for how many weeks? Comes back, and everybody's favorite man of the moment is Jeremy Doku. I've watched Jeremy Doku play a lot of football. He stat padded against who? Who did he play against? When he got 4 assists?
Who? I can't remember that team he played against.
Was it Bournemouth?
Yeah, it was Bournemouth.
Okay. Well, okay. We saw what he could do against a real team, against a real right back. Nothing.
He was negated.
Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did absolutely nothing. And this cat's been out for what, 5 weeks? Barely played, barely kicked the ball, hasn't played 90 in how long?
63 minutes, I think, today.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
even Cole Palmer was able to stop
Still hasn't.
Doku.
Yep. I mean, when you're the opponent's right back outplays your left wing, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was a good game of football overall, honestly. But go ahead, Uncle Justice. I'll let you drop before.
And then hey, let's not pretend that his substitute didn't come in and play just as well. I mean, we got right back sorted for years to come.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I just want to, you got to pick out these players. Yes. You know, you always want to praise the goal scorers, the people putting the ball in the back of the net, but that doesn't happen unless the people build up play. And look, the man had an assist today. We are a much better team when Reece James is in it.
That's the truth. Even though his injury record has been frustrating for all of us. Yeah, but go ahead, Uncle Justice. Apologies.
He's integral.
Yeah. He's the best right back in the world. And I say that, people go, well, can't say that because he's always injured. Okay, well, when he's not injured, he's the best right back in the world. When he's on the pitch,
I'd say he's just as good as Walker. That I'm being given honest opinion, not because he's English, but Walker is an outstanding right back.
More defensive though, and more because of his athleticism. Not
offensively, Reece James beats him. But go ahead.
No, I agree. I agree.
Go ahead, Justice.
Yeah, so Reece James and Gusto were good again. I thought Cucurella played very well. Matter of factly,
I'd like to see his stats.
I say him down there as a 6.1, but I thought he was good. First of all, for me, it's not a penalty. Very soft, and no VAR is not going to overturn that because it was a decision made on the pitch, and there has to be something to say to overturn something. It has to be something that the referee absolutely missed, and they were never overturning. VAR was never overturning that. So that was on Anthony Taylor. But besides, other than that, I thought Cucurella played very good.
It was good. And kudos to him handling himself well on the yellow card. And he still was, you can say, played as dirty as he usually plays. But and his tackles are clean in most cases. Do you see how many times he recovered the ball and still made good runs with it? Go ahead, Uncle Jesse. Sorry if you were still speaking.
No, that's quite. I'm just looking at time. I've got a podcast coming up in an hour.
Okay, in an hour. Okay. You want anybody here to join you on there? You just hit them up.
Yeah, I will. I think we got a pretty packed house because on a win or a good game, it's harder to.
Yeah,
it's easy to get people on. It's easy when people come on. It's really hard to get people on when you get beat.
Yeah, a lot of people want to talk, but you can share the link in the chat so people will come listen up there. I'm quite sure Absolutely. It will be interesting. Let's move on from that. We're going to look at James's numbers. There's nothing wrong. Bobby said or did. He should be like that more often. You want to see him like that. Coach, what do you think about Enzo Fernandez? He was carrying a knock, in my opinion. Still, he started well. He just fizzled out, and the manager made the right decision to take him off. I am curious to know Uncle Justice's take on Poch, given that his analysis are usually quite accurate. Okay, there you go. You're in trouble, Justice. There you go. That one's for you. Let's hear you.
Well, I appreciate the sentiment. I guess that's all perception. Your perception, I'm accurate. Other people's perception, I don't know what I'm talking about. So I guess it just depends on how you see things, right? Look, I initially fair, just to give you the full take, I wanted Nagelsmann over Poch because I like the way Nagelsmann coaches. I like the style of his team. They play full throttle, all out football. I quite enjoy that. But Poch has come in and he has looked the part. Everybody was like, well, he's going to come in and it's going to be instantly we're going to be first place. No, that's not how things happen, you know. And then they say, well, look at what Ange is doing. Why can't Poch do that? Well, Ange has the same team basically from last year who played well together. Mm-hmm. So he's taking a team that has basically a brand new team that's not kicked ball once together. We lost our best player in the summertime in Christopher Nkunku going forward. Right? You could say he's our best offensive player. Mm-hmm. Lost him, hadn't kicked ball in the league yet. Gone through 12 starters out, 11, 12 people out. And he's gone through that. So Poch is implementing a style of play. He's imprinting it on the team, and they're starting to play this way. And we're starting
in just
to
a few months.
Right. It's an outstanding coaching job. Outstanding. Look, there's no team in the league who can take 11 to 12 injuries and think they're going to look good, especially when there's some of their best players that are injured. You go through any team, they're talking about 1 or 2 injuries and they're done. Arsenal's talking about 1 or 2 injuries and all we can't sustain. Newcastle, look at them now. Where are they at? They're going to keep going down and down and down and down and down again because they don't have the squad to go out and play in 2 different competitions
for rotational purposes, right?
Yeah.
Especially
and
because
Roger, we knew
Europe.
that this was going to be more of a reintroduction for them in the Champions League. We did say that. Remember that?
Yeah, around Christmas
I did
time.
Too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, around Christmas time, it's going to hurt them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and so we still have the best depth in the league. I think it's our depth from 11 to 22 is probably better than Man City, because in certain positions, Man City are thin. Look at the DM position. Look at the fullback position. Look at, there's certain positions they're really thin in. So I think that we're starting to show why we spent all this money on the squad. Poch is the man to let it go. Just be patient, be calm. Don't look for the instant gratification. And this team will get to where you want it. We will be challenging by the end of the year. We will get third, and I think we will win at least the FA Cup, if not the Carabao Cup too, because we have Lavia to come back. We have Christopher Nkunku to come back, and who knows? We might just do a madness and come and buy Osimhen in January, because I think that is the guy. There was something between Tony or Osimhen. I think it's gonna be Osimhen. And if it's Osimhen and he's fit, and you can pair him with Christopher Nkunku in that forward line and bring Jackson on to spell him, there's going to be a whole lot of trouble, but not for us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Uncle Jesters. I appreciate you. Always like listening to you talk about Chelsea, and you know that already. He's answered your question. I'm going to go to Bobby in a bit. I wasn't a fan of Poch, but I am starting to see what we brought him in for. I've always said he's the man for this job, especially given the fact we have a very young team. And the blue Tifa game is in the house. Much love to you, brother. Big up, coach. Big up, panel. And a big up to you, who? No, don't big up yourself, and JC, for predicting the weekend of upsets. Coach, well done for predicting the Wolves result. I predicted, I think, 4 games correctly, the score lines. Yep, on soccer perspective.
Wow.
Wolves results. The tears tasted better than champagne. Bottoms up. Yep. Drink easy, bro. Drink responsibly. Estimates we have here, N'Golo Dante. I said it yesterday, is that the Stalin had something to prove to Pep and City, and he did. He turned it up today. Tonight, what a game. A couple of nutmegs. I saw one, but Roger says a couple. It wasn't just one. Let's see, facts, justice, all love from people in the chat. And Uncle Justice, please, when you get a chance, share the link to your channel. They have a podcast coming up. You see strong characters on the panel there, and believe me, you will enjoy the show. You know him. Lots of you already know Justice and love him, but there are other panelists that will be there. Like I'm sure Matt J will be there, and I'm sure Kalita will be there also. So from plus other people, don't miss it. He's gonna share the link in a bit. And the low block kryptonite incoming. I'm not too concerned. I think we're so confident that we'll deal with them. Let's look at Bobby, if you want to, anything else you want, any player you want us to talk about, or you want us, let's go ahead and look at Reece James's number. If you don't mind, then you can come in. Is that okay with you, or
Okay.
you want to come in first? Whatever you want to do.
Now look at the numbers and I'll come in.
Okay. All right. Thank you, brother. James played 64 minutes, 0 goals, 1 assist. Total shots are 2 in total. Accurate passes 25 out of 31, 81% accuracy. That's fine. I'll take it from him. Chances created 2 chances. Expected goals 0.10. Expected goals on target 0.27. Expected assists 0.03. That's a bit poor. Let's move on from that one. And the shot accuracy 1 out of 1. Blocked shots 1. Touches 48. Touches in opposition box 3. Passes into the final third 3. Accurate long balls 3 out of 4. That's fine in my opinion. Dispossessed 1 time. Defense tackles 1, 3 out of 5, not bad. 60% clearances 2. Headed clearances 2. Defensive actions 7 in total. Recoveries 1. Dribbled past 1 time. Duels 1. Duels 1 7. Duels lost 2. Ground duels 1 6 out of 8. That's excellent. Aerial duels 1. 1 out of 1 was fouled 1 time. It was an excellent game for him, in my opinion. I think he dealt with what's his name? He dealt with Jeremy Doku very well. And I said it during the pregame show. I'm not concerned about Jeremy Doku because I at the time I said that I am confident that James will take care of him, and he did. He did effectively, in my opinion. Uncle Justice has shared the link to his YouTube channel. It's a podcast, more of a podcast right now, but it's still, you can still call it a YouTube channel. Be sure to go subscribe from Kimso, Chelsea all the way, Constantine, Dante, all of you. The Beautiful Game, I'm quite sure you're already subscribed. Kwasi, all of you, please go and subscribe to Uncle Justice YouTube channel and JZ2. Let's help him get to 10,000 as soon as possible because he deserves that. We keep growing together. His selfless when it comes to helping Chelsea content creators grow. He comes on whenever he has time, and don't even get a chance to buy him a beer, but it's all love, and I love that. I hope Newcastle don't pack the bus against us. If they do that, we'll still beat them. I think I'm confident now. You can say I trust this team right now. Let's see. Jackson has more goals than Højlund in the EPL. Yeah, and has his EPL hat trick. And who has none? Rashford. Yeah. And my bro Fahim would call him Marcus Rashford, but I'm not into name calling.
Wow.
Uncle just has that's Mitchell Boy saying hello to you. Jackson strikes again. Yep. Yeah, he keeps scoring. I don't care how dirty he looks on the pitch or how out of place he looks. I think he's a good player, and we'll only get better. You missed last night's show. He drained the life out of Bobby and Roger for this stream for 20 hours, and I had to tell him, Mitchie, go get a pillow. And Roger was sounding sleepy,
I saw
but
that.
Roger, even if when he's sleepy, he still makes sense. I said, okay, go ahead. Uncle Justice's perspective on Pochettino was like music to my ears, and I'm shocked, right? Let's see anything else. So, Bobby, let's hear you. And after you speak, tell us any player you want us to look at their numbers. So, Bobby, you have the floor. You there, Bobby? Okay, I probably struggling.
I'm here.
There you
Sorry,
go.
Coach.
There you go, bro.
Yeah, sorry, what was it? Reece James? Is that where we're at?
Now, we've looked at his numbers, but you can pick any player and talk about that particular player, then we'll look at the player's number. Up to you.
One thing I have to say about Reece James and flowers to Pochettino is that we kept our discipline. We didn't play him longer than we should, and we took him off when we should. And I thought that was really important because we have to continue wrapping him in cotton wool. And playing 64 minutes was more than enough time for him as a player with his condition and coming back and so on. I thought he played well. I thought practically every player played well. Look, I'm not going to deceive myself and say, look, we don't have a lot of work to do. We do, our set pieces, that sort of holding out games and things like that. But in a situation where we had to go toe to toe with a more or less fully strength, well rehearsed team like Man City, and we did not cope. We actually did better than them. I think for me, that gives me so much hope for this project and for this team. And for the players, I just find it hard to talk about individual numbers because I'm so thrilled at the outcome of this performance. You know what I'm saying? It's that's just it. That's all I've got to say about that, coach. I don't want to call out anybody in particular too much because that does an injustice to what was done here today.
I think it makes sense. It makes sense in the sense that we're not even well rehearsed, but yet we played as a unit in terms of commitment and the fighting spirit. But Bobby, go ahead if you were still talking. Any thoughts on Breuer's cameo today? He seemed to be triggered to. I think he looked good. He looked good. He won us a penalty, wasn't he? Correct me if I'm wrong. He was the one that won us a penalty, and hopefully he stays fit. Yeah. I hope he stays fit. I'm going to say this. Us going for a striker in January or comes down to how well the players we have, how well they do. Remember, we still have Nkunku who likes to play as a striker. We still have Nicholas Jackson. Even if you think he's bad, he's contributed to the number of goals we scored so far. And Amanda Breuer, if he can stay fit, I don't see us paying premium for a striker in January, except if we struggle to score goals, and it looks like that's changing now, in my opinion. Yes, let's see anything else we have here. Question for the panel: when last did City concede 4 goals in normal time? I
Leicester
can't
City.
remember any. Go
Leicester
ahead.
City.
Leicester City. What year? Probably 2018.
Last year.
Was it last year?
I think it was 5-2.
Wow! In a Premier League game.
I want to say so. Yeah.
Wow, that's some score line right there. But they don't concede too many. If we again, if they don't concede too many. But yeah, I don't know. Anybody else want to talk about this particular contribution on the screen? Roger, you have anything to say with regards to that?
Let me have a look. I apologize.
Yeah, it says question for the panel: when last did City concede 4 goals in normal time? It looks like Roger is still suffering from hungover from yesterday's stream.
No, I'm multitasking. No, to be honest with you.
No, I know it is because somebody tweeted it.
But it doesn't matter. Still, it's an information. But let's hear you, Roger. Yeah, you don't know everything, Uncle Roger. You're a human being, right? Roger, let's hear you.
Actually, I think the score was 6-3. Call, to be honest with you, but let's put it this way. Yeah, I you can see the patterns of play, and you can see that I think how we're playing against City and Arsenal. I like that, putting basically a 4-4-2, having 4 box midfielders. I think it really does present issues for the opponents. And listen, they have some amazing players. There's no doubt about it. And I thought we went toe-to-toe with them. I really did.
One more uppercut to uppercut.
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
But I like that, Roger. I have to be honest.
Yeah, it's a boxing analogy, right? Let's be honest. I thought we came away as if we had won the game. I really do. I think you prefaced that very well at the top of the show, because it feels like a victory. And I was with Bobby, prior to the match. I thought at best we could do was to come away with a draw, And guess what? I think we could have won that. And I'm not just being bombastic or egotistical or anything like that. I'm being honest. I think you'll look at most pundits and most observers. This is the second consecutive game now where Chelsea have played what is perceived to be top teams, and they've been the better team.
Yeah,
for whatever
reason.
reasons.
Those games as the underdogs.
And I agree. I know this is at home, but still, you know how many teams that City put to the sword in their own house? So, listen, this is a very youthful team, with the exception of Silva, obviously. There's just a sprinkle of veterans in this team, and we just need more continuity and consistency from these players. In other words, they need to be available to play. And once you achieve that and you build continuity, then things can only get better in so many ways. So I think there's a lot to build on, but I still have reservations about us being able to break down teams that, employ the low block. That is yet to be proven on a consistent basis that we're capable of doing it. So, but we've all known, we've all talked about this for quite a while now, that we don't really fear that the top 6 teams, because of they come out and play, they don't park the bus, and we can go toe to toe with a lot of people in that regard. But I think observers and fans alike and experts who whatever, after watching this game, I think they're going to take us a lot more seriously now. I think they have to. I think I know we're 9 points away from 5th place, but we're only 4 points away from 7th, if I recall. So I think these are very good signs, and we just need to stay healthy, and hopefully our returning players can make a difference. And I'd love to see. I'm really looking forward to seeing what is indeed his best 11 on a consistent basis, because we haven't seen that, because he hasn't had the luxury of choosing from the pool of players. So that's what I'm really looking forward to see, exactly who plays where and what, etc. And what's our formation, and it probably will vary based on team to team, like a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. But I'm dying to see what our MO, what our DNA is going to be going forward. So that's what I have to look forward to.
Yeah, thank you so much. I agree with you. And Uncle Just says it's on the panel and in the chat. Yeah, okay. That's what the sort of thing Mitchell does. Okay. Diaz did not get a yellow for his challenge on Broya. Yeah, that's another one. That's another one. And I still cannot believe that Walker finished that game without a yellow, not even a talking to. Good point there, Uncle Jess says, Coach, I opened up my Starling Super Oven and found Kyle Walker cooking medium rare. Wow, too much happened in that game that needs to be rewatched. I think I watched it 1,000 times. I don't delete this sort of games for a while, from my record, that's my opinion. Okay, let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Okay, Bobby, you need to call out Taylor Face a second assist. He has already. You should hear Bobby talk about him, but I'm quite sure he still has more to say. Constantine Dante, no, Coach, we need a striker. I think we need, but I'm just telling you my opinion. If we start scoring goals and Jackson score at least a 10 plus, Broya score a few, and Kunku score a few, I don't think the club will look to pay premium for Osimhen in January. That's just my opinion. Plus other arguments that are presented here with regards to the fact that he's African, and what's his name? Jackson is also African, and both represent their respective countries and will always leave Chelsea to go participate in AFCON. You don't want to lose 2 strikers. I think that will still be an issue, in my opinion, but we'll find out.
By the way,
they're both
Coach,
excellent. Yeah.
Can I just say something? I think Sky Sports, excuse me, they mentioned that Disasi is not going on international duty.
Good for us.
Which is excellent. So we can work on the defensive aspects of the game. Yeah,
we should. Yeah, thank you for that update. And we need just 8 more likes to get it to 100. Let's make it happen, people. Even if you're watching and for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat, just know that we value equally. You watching alone does provide great value to the Chelsea Perspective community, but we want one tiny bit of favor from you. Please do take a second to drop a like on the stream for us to help us get 100 likes. 8 more. We haven't hit 100 likes since the transfer window shut, but we can do it today. This is a win for me. It feels like a win too. Poch brings a quick turnaround like he did at Sports too. Yeah, I think you could argue that. Air Comics, nice to see you. It's been a minute. I hope your absence is because you've been busy. Nothing happened. Great game of football, a goal fest, a refreshing performance by Poch's Blues, hanging in there with the Mants till the end, going blow to blow, uppercut to uppercut. I'm never going to stop saying that. Big Blues. I love it, Roger. Another question for the panel: who played like the team in the 12th? In the 12th, and who played like the team in the first? Bobby, let me throw this one at you. If you want to answer this question.
Who played like the team in the what?
Who
In 12.
played like the team in the 12th and who played like the team
Oh,
in
in
the
the position.
first? In the
Well,
first
we're
position. Yeah.
10th actually.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I mean, definitely. We were the better team on the day. I really believe that. Did we play like a top place team? And did they play like the team in 12th position?
Mhm.
No, I think a lot of what we did today was the element of surprise. I don't think City were quite prepared for what we threw at them. They didn't they I think they underestimated us and they paid the price.
They didn't
They
know we
were
were going to be
lucky.
this good. I agree.
They were quite lucky. And my deep concern, I mean, City is not a team that needs favors from the referee, but
Yeah.
not carding Kyle Walker and that dodgy penalty. I mean, I think, people need to look into this. This is serious. You can't keep allowing this to happen in these high profile games against Chelsea. This guy and his cohort of VAR people, they never make their mistakes in favor of Chelsea in these big games. It's always against us. And I think it's deliberate. And I think it needs to seriously be looked into in order to stop it.
Mhm.
That's just my answer. I think we played very well today, of course, but are we the finished article? Very far from it. We've got a lot of work to do, but are we on the right track? This is the important take home from today. The fact that what we did shows that we're going very much in the right direction.
Mhm.
Momentum.
Yeah, momentum indeed. Just as I know you probably will leave soon to go prepare for the podcast. But do you have anything to add to what we have on the screen? What do you make of it from the Bluetooth game?
Yeah, actually, I thought City played well. I'm not going to say they played like the 12th place team. There is a team in Manchester that played like the 12th place team, but that's not City. That's United. Let's be
Yeah.
absolutely correct. I don't want to denigrate our performance by saying Man City didn't play well. I think Man City played as well as I've seen them play all year long.
Yeah, I
We are
agree.
just that good. People, if you look,
Key words, we were just that good. Yep.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I
Uncle Justice.
agree.
Yeah,
Totally.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
and we haven't been absolutely poor in maybe a couple of games this year. We just have lacked clinical edge. If you look at the games we've lost or drawn, that we've actually had enough chances to win those games. And that's why we're sitting in 10th and not in the top 4 right now, because we didn't take our chances in those games. And that's going to not be the case going forward, because you have more quality coming back into the team. And believe it or not, players do make a difference on the pitch. I mean, if we had Erling Haaland earlier this year and not Jackson, let's say, then we are in the top 4. So the quality of player on the pitch matters, whether you think so or not. Coaches can only do so much, right? They can make average players look good from tactical setup. They're not going to make an average player look world class game in and game out. It doesn't happen. So you just have to get what you get from your coach, you get and good tactics, good setups, and good substitutions. And we just need to have a little bit more quality on the pitch, a little bit more confidence. And I predicted this to be 3rd this year. I still stand by that. I was asked a couple of weeks ago when we were languishing in 12th, you still think you're going to get 3rd? I said yes, because the season's not over and we will be better. You've seen the worst of us this season, and that's already been in the past. We're going to be better going forward. So I'm going to make that my last word, because I do have to get ready for the podcast. Coach, as always, thank you for having me on.
Much love to you, bro. I'll see you guys there. I'll show up in the chat. Yeah. Thanks so much, Uncle Justice. Much love to you. And I sent you a Twitter message. I don't know if you said it.
I did, and I subscribed, but the Twitter is not there anymore.
Okay. Let me see.
The Twitter link has said it's gone.
I'm just saying. I said I want something similar like that. I need something similar to this from you.
Oh, I didn't. I guess I didn't understand that.
Yeah,
What do
yeah.
you?
That's
What do
what
you
I
need?
want. So
We'll
just
discuss that in the background.
for your credentials, so that whenever you're on the panel, I add that to the description section.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll
All right.
do.
Thank you, Uncle. Just see you in
Thank
a
you.
bit.
All right. Bye.
Much love, brother. Yeah, Roger, you want to add to this, or should I move on?
No, we can move on. Listen, I think we can hold our heads up high in this
Yeah.
game. I thought, as I said, I have concerns going forward, but over time, I think they will be addressed. It's just going to take repetition and to get continuity, but that can only happen when we have the players available.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm pleasantly surprised by how we played today. Did I expect us to play this well? Probably not. Did I think that we could draw? Yes.
Definitely not, Roger.
No, I'm being honest though. You know,
No, I'm using definitely not because I remember everything we all said during the pregame show.
Yeah,
Oh yes, yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, because listen, I know up to that point, we definitely our best game of the season was probably the second half in the Liverpool game and the Arsenal game, or up till the first 78 minutes, and this time we put together 100 minutes of pure quality, and I thought we could have easily come away with a victory, and that's not really being, wishful thinking. That's quite an accurate assessment. I think had we come away with a victory, I don't think too many people would have said you were jammy, because we created enough chances. But I think it's a fair result, and let's be honest. I think for either team to have won tonight, I thought would have been slightly unfair, because I think both teams went toe to toe. So I think it's a very fair result. But as I said, had we had won, I don't think the experts would have said, "Oh, we were jammy." Far from it. It probably would have been a well-deserved victory, also, which sounds like slightly contradictory. But listen, I want to point out another player. I was really pleased with Cucurella. He was the one player I wasn't sure that would start. If you recall, I thought he probably employed the starting 11 that he did against Arsenal, and he didn't. And even though there was some lack of physicality, I thought he played out.
He couldn't, Roger, because of the injury to Colwell.
I didn't know there was an injury to Colwell.
But I wasn't aware of that.
There is a shoulder injury.
He did really, really well.
But I thought Cucurella, he is such a different person from what we saw last year. Last year, he went walkies so often. He was so ill-disciplined, and you have not seen one iota of that thus far this season. He looks like a completely, reinvented, revigorated, and disciplined player. The player that we were hoping we would get from the player of the season for Brighton 2 years ago. So I'm pleasantly surprised, and I thought he did really well. He was put in positions to succeed, let's put it that way. Do we need to improve defensively? Yes, but then again, we were going up, conceding 4 against this team is nothing to be ashamed of. I mean,
no, not at all.
So, but we do need to tighten up. I want to see us having a lot more clean sheets. But you know what? This is momentum building, gentlemen, and I think this was the best we could hope for when you consider the last several games, 2 games we played, and our opponents. This could only be a positive for us moving forward. I cannot stress that enough.
Yeah, the feeling is special. The feeling is special, really. Kim's coach is not taking it as a win, unfortunately. I take it as a win, but you know how it ended. And had we won, I'd fulfill my promise. That's who I am. I seen it coming. Just a need to take chances. Yep, a simple start. Mitchell Boy is in the house. Go check out Mitchell Boy's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. He's a brother. If you enjoy the gang of our panelists we have here, please go subscribe to Mitchell Boy's YouTube channel. But please beg him to not drain the life out of our panelists. I'm going to report him to the panelists union.
That was funny, by the way, Coach. That was very funny.
Oh my goodness, Roger! You should go watch that video. Hear how you were sounding towards the end of the show. I was like, man is asleep, and I was intentionally saying, "Wait, I got a question." The Premier League needs to reward us for providing the most entertaining football matches since Monday. Banning Taylor from officiating our games for the rest of the season will be a start. Yeah, I think I agree. Today we managed well, 95% correct decisions. Jay-Z, I am content with the draw. Victory for CFC would have been cool, but let's hope we win, beat Newcastle, and do well in the league overall. I think I agree. To me, it still feels like a win. Jackson, 14 games, 7 goals, all comes not bad at all for a new and a younger player who has played far from his potential. Imagine in a year's time, once he has a season under his belt, yeah, it'd be different. All our team, I think we have something special cooking here. The Chelsea DNA is back. Don't listen to so-called experts. We are back. De Guido, appreciate you, and I like your avatar. Without Taylor, we win that game, no cap. I think you could say that. Yeah. If anything, this match looks like a top of the table clash. Poch needs to walk out low blocks at Jay-Z, but today was neat. Was not a surprise for me. Just Dean, just did not Dean to a certain but certainly without any illusions. We did well. And Mitchie Boy has shared a link to his channel. Please go check it out. And he streams today in a few hours, in about 4 hours, less than 4 hours. Let's have him get to 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible. We are selfless here, and that's why we're growing together. Please, let's do that for him. Let's see. Yeah, you can. Just hit me up on Twitter and let me know when you do, and I'll send you the link. There's a risk in sharing the link in the chat here. I've told that story before. But more importantly, CFC Gavin, go check out this YouTube channel also. Bro, share the link to your channel so people can go subscribe. We keep growing together. It's a shame after a great week of goals, points and performances, we have an international break. Yeah, halts our trajectory. I don't like that. It's not a surprise for me either. We have the players that just needed some time in to be utilized more correctly from the start. Hopefully, all good going forward. But still, a lot of work to be done. We know that, but we're making great progress, in my opinion. One more, I like to get it to 100. Let's make it work. None of you lot were on the pep talk speakers list of players. Only Roger could get entry. Big up to the team to show you guys to stand taller. Yeah, we should. Roger contradict City. I'm not sure what you mean there. I predicted a 2-2 draw based on our previous game, and the way the team is beginning to gel. We are back, and you have to accept that the Chelsea of old are slowly showing their heads. I hope that's the case. Let's see what else we have. Congratulations, guys. All I wanted was a draw. I did not see us winning it, but I am impressed with the result. I will have to watch the game. I was unable to see it live. Yeah, probably you intentionally didn't want to watch it because you thought they're going to batter us, right? I thought you said you wanted to move on. You've rabbited on for half an hour. Wow, that's some way to put it. One goal was scored by Anthony Taylor. We cannot blame defense for that. Okay. I predicted Chelsea to win a 3-1. I thought we were going to win 2-1 because I didn't think Taylor would have come straight back from a demotion and have the nerve to do that. The man's getting worse. What about the VAR too? I think it wasn't his sole decision, in my opinion. Yeah, Pochettino could face a 2-game suspension and a fine for his protest at the end, according to Julian Laurent. Did he touch the referee? I didn't see him do that, but let's see what he does. Coach is a voodoo priest. He predicted we will win the big games, even when Chelsea was clueless. Yeah, we have not, but I think I just said we'll do well against the big boys. I didn't say we're going to win. My argument has always been those games are the games I think we'll get good results from. Let's see. Yeah, please can go check out CFC Gavin's YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Let's help him grow. Let's help him get to 100,000 as soon as possible. He's a brother, always supports the channel. Yeah, 101 likes. Yippee! Since the transfer window shot, this is the first time we're getting 100 likes plus, and we did it. How to put it? When all decisions a manager makes turns out to be good impact, you have to give due to the coaching work. It's never perfectly bad or perfectly good. Poch looks a man who knows our team. I think he does. Sky pundits seem to be changing their sentiments against us. They did well and commended versus Spurs, and their comments today again was full of praise for us. Yeah, they have no option than to do that. And Poch looked like he knows what he was doing, and we could see that through his game. Yep, he was furious when we conceded from that set piece. I don't think Jesse flip-flopped on this one. I think he was confident in the morning, I have to be honest. I did not watch the game because I had to be in church. Not being to church in 2 weeks. You're a sinner, man. You're a sinner. A lot of people. CFC Gavin, he won't allow me to shoot you a message on Twitter. Okay. Share your handle. If I'm the one that's, because I'm verified. So if I sent you a message, it will come true. So send me a message and I'll try and do that. No, Dante, I'm just saying, okay, just that's by the way. Roger, anything else you want to talk about in this particular game? Okay, let's look at Gallagher's number. Let's start from there, and then I'll have Bobby speak after that. I think he probably has a lot to say. His boy, I think Gallagher, he did well. In my opinion, he wasn't perfect, but none of the players were perfect. Yep. Yeah. Rating 8.0, played 90 minutes, goals 0, assists 1. Yep. Total. And it says a total shots 3 in total. Accurate passes 38 out of 40, 95%. Wow. And I followed the game attentively, and I can tell you he didn't opt for separate option in those passes. In all his passes, you don't see him opt for several options. He's always progressed the ball, and he looks more confident than he's ever been, in my opinion. This is saying just quickly, give me a few seconds here. Yep, 95% pass accuracy, chances created 2, expected goals 0.09, expected goals on target 0.13, expected assists 0.10, xg and xa, expected goals and expected assists 0.19. Shot accuracy 2 out of 3, 67%. That's excellent in my opinion. Touches 61, touches in opposition box 1, successful dribbles 1 out of 1, passes into the final third 4. Accurate passes 1 out of 1. Accurate long balls 3 out of 4. That's excellent, actually. 75%. Corners taking 2. Let's see anything else. Defense tackles 1, 2 out of 3, 67%. Defensive actions 8 in total. Recovery 6. That's a high in my opinion. Dribbled pass 1 time. Duels 1, 6 duels. Duels lost 6, 50%. Okay, ground duels 150, 6 out of 12, 50%. Was fouled 2 times, fouls committed 5 times. He looked like a man on a mission in that particular game. And I think at one point, Sterling did something that City players are good at doing. You could call it tactical foul. When he was that Foden, I can't quite remember. But Bobby, let's hear you. What do you make of Gallagher's performance? Just forget about what people are saying about him. Let's hear what you think about his performance today.
You know, Gallagher did everything that was required of him today. You know, people say, you could say, oh, he wasn't perfect. Look.
No player was perfect on the day, but boy, he was excellent.
Nobody,
I have to say that, yeah.
We played a Man City team that did not keep their powder dry. They played well. They really came after us. They played at full throttle today. It's just that we played better and we took them completely by surprise. And part of that was because of Gallagher. Gallagher and Cucurella were really very energetic, and it caused them a lot of problems. It broke up a lot of their rhythm, and it was the reason why we were on top of the game. I don't know what people expect of this boy. Honestly, he is without any shadow of the doubt, perhaps the most improved player in Chelsea this season so far. And I can't praise him enough for his performance today. To be fair, I'm watching the game again. Both Enzo and Caicedo played their parts. I have to say, for the time they were on, Enzo, you could see he needed to come off. I think Enzo is on the cusp of falling foul of playing a bit too much football. And I'm
Yeah.
not too happy with the international break because the Argentines are going to use him again. But it shows that
And
we
that's quite
can,
some travel.
a lot of travel and so on. And we're going to need him against Newcastle. But it shows that we can do without him if we need to. And this is the good thing in our investment in the midfield and the retention of people like Ugo Chukwu, the coming back of Lavia. People think, oh, when Lavia's fit, what's gonna? No, we're gonna need all these guys, even without playing European football.
Bobby,
We
correction. It's not coming back. He was never here in the first place.
well, you
Sorry.
know but we're going to need them all. We need everybody. We need our squad fit and firing, especially if we're one going to climb up the table now, and two, hopefully try and get a cup. We need our best players available. So Gallagher, yes, absolutely. For me, he deserves his 8 out of 10. I would give him more, but I think 8 out of 10 is fair for his performance. I can't, and I will never understand anyone who criticizes him for today's performance. I just think it's
He was
so out of order.
outstanding, Bobby.
He played like the captain he eventually was on the pitch. He was outside, some of his passes, certain passes he made to Sterling that, all these things go unnoticed for a player that is not particularly so-called technically gifted. He can spray some balls. So,
Also, his powerful shot
shooting,
resulted in the fact that
Yep.
the keeper couldn't parry it.
Ederson
yeah,
couldn't keep it. That
yeah,
Jackson's goal.
Yeah, he couldn't
yeah,
parry it left. I mean,
Mhm.
it was, and these are, listen, you can't blame the keeper for that much because those were really bad conditions. It was pouring down at that
yeah.
moment. And
Look,
so it had movement on the ball. It was low. It was a rocket. And, you know, this is what
and
we
that,
need. We need people that are going to shoot. Sorry, Bobby. We need people going to shoot and test the keeper. That's what I say every week. Sorry,
I was
Bobby.
going to say, that wasn't his first shot at goal. And I just think he did well today, and it's time the fan base start to encourage this kid. Get him on a roll because he's fit, he stays fit, he has endeavor, he plays for the badge. I mean, come on, man, we've got to. By the way, talking about goalkeepers, I have to say, Sanchez. Yeah, he let in 4 goals, but I really didn't see
Now,
him
one was
do
a
much wrong.
penalty and one was a deflection, and
Yeah,
the other one he was rooted to the spot because no keeper's saving that header from Akanji. I mean,
He was
yeah,
excellent, I have to be honest.
yeah, I
yeah.
thought he had a solid game, solid
He had a
game.
good game. He kept us in the game.
No wobbly
Um,
moments either, by the
yeah,
way.
when who was it that was 1-on-1, and was it either Alvarez or Haaland? And he stopped.
He stopped.
It was Haaland, and he stopped the shot. So I saw nothing wrong with Sanchez today. Could he
No,
do better? Of course, but his distribution wasn't bad. He played it long when he had to. He didn't take any risks. His shot stopping was good. He came out to collect the ball. The goals that went past him were not particularly his fault. I mean, this was City at full throttle. Make no mistake about it. They played as they could today. It's just that we nullified their game and took them into areas they didn't want to go. And this is the way to play them. Now, for me, my take home from today is twofold. One, we need to have faith in the project. Two, City is a team at the peak of its powers, really. It's at the end of its project. Chelsea is a team at the beginning. And with time, it will start to tell.
Yep. Let's get from Tobejo. Go ahead, Tobejo. Go ahead.
His magic, Mauricio Pochettino. His magic, Big up, guys.
Big up to you.
Man. What a match. What a match. Man, I enjoyed this game, even though I wanted us to win this game so hard because the boys gave everything today. Unfortunately, with our individual mistakes and silly penalty gave Manchester City a lifeline. But overall, what I love about Mauricio Pochettino today, he took on Manchester City. He didn't sit back and wait for counter-attacks games like that, because normally we used to play like that against Manchester City. Those 6 games that they beat us, we used to sit deep and wait for opportunities. But today we didn't do that. We gave them a fight. We showed them we are Chelsea. Oh man, what a performance! Ah man, Gallagher, Marco Corella, everyone gave everything. To be honest, I'm glad about this performance. Hopefully, after the international break, Nkunku and Lavia can add more to our team, and let's start winning games, guys. But before I go, his magic, Mauricio Pochettino.
Yep. I wasn't just responding to you singing because we're getting a feedback from your end. So always much love to you, brother.
But seriously, don't quit your daytime job.
Oh, you tell him he shouldn't quit his daytime job.
I'm just kidding.
But at least, I love it. I love it, man. It's all again happiness. Let's see what else we have here. It was good to finally see some passion from Poch during and especially at the end. Hopefully he's not suspended. Listening to Jamie Carragher screaming like a child watching our game. Love to see it. I love that. There are reports of stating that Poch used explicit language for the ref, which was captured on the recording. I think they're just going to fine him. If they suspend him, I think it doesn't stop us. He can still communicate with the phone and we still do well. Man-child indeed. Now, Coach, Gallagher balled out today. No cap. I think I agree with you. Nobody was perfect. They all had their moments, but boy, he was good. And I'm going to say this. Look at his passing accuracy. 95%, and it wasn't like when he gets the ball, he opts for safer option. He progressed the ball, some excellent, delicious turns to beat those you can say that want to get the ball away from him. He did well. There's no start for players heart, determination, and energy. This is what Gallagher showed. Yeah, he was excellent. I said it yesterday that Sanchez, Enzo, and Jackson could decide our game. I remember that. If they have confidence in the game, and they did well. Thank you for saying that, Daniel. Thanks for popping into the chat last night. Yep, please, if you enjoy Chelsea Perspective, go check out Nature Boy's YouTube channel. And he's one of the channel listed as the recommended channels featured channels on Chelsea Perspective. Believe me, you will love his content. But just sign a petition that he should take it easy on the panelists. Chelsea is now expected to defeat Newcastle. I don't want anybody to expect us to defeat anybody. Well, I just want to say we're playing against Newcastle. Brighton and Man United after the international break. I can't trust that. Let's just play them. The departure of Casado and Enzo to South America is concerning. We all know that. Hopefully Enzo finds the excuse and stays back, in my opinion. This is saying I don't see why people are saying that there's hope from Mudryk because the guy is poor in every aspect. Wow, you're very critical of him, of most of our players. I can imagine Mount watching Gallagher and saying, "I just missed the chance to be coached." Yeah, and unfortunately for Mount, United signed him as an established player. They don't have the time to nurture him. To them, they signed a winner of Champions League winner and all that. Let's see. We are getting ready for Premier League clubs. All the players did the job, did their respective jobs today, and I think Gallagher was so excellent. I think he was good. High altitude can pose significant challenges to players' performances and fitness in South American football. I think I agree. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut. Now and again.
Damn.
Look at you see the type of thing Mitchie is highlighting there. You see that? Especially in the wet. I don't know why players don't shoot more. I kept saying all game, shoot. Gallagher tried some good shots today. Teams and players are often engaged in altitude training or acclimatization. I can't say that word. Before matches at high altitude venues. Yep, I agree. By the way, Gallagher moved to right wing. Yep, for around 15 minutes in second half, but he was much better butchering City midfield from the center of the pitch. Wow, some observation right there. Not sure I agree with a 7.6 for Jackson. Yes, he scored, but he was quiet. But just give it to him, bro. Tavero, come on, leave Tavero alone. He was just happy. Mudryk could have run with Foden for Haaland a second goal. Just he's not a defender. Just leave him. He's a bit rusty. Jackson looked too eager to score a goal and got his Porteous goal. Let's hope this gives him a more confidence. Sure, it will. And the manager is going to play him in the next game. Big up DJ. DJ, where you at the game today? What match? Big up Coach Coachella. What a match to watch live. You were there. I guessed it. Was gutted about the result. City's penalty should not have stood. Here's the thing. To me, it still feels like a win. Yep. And kudos to the fans. Kudos to the fans, man. They were excellent today. We usually have problems with the match-going fans at home. They were excellent today, in my opinion. Yeah, even when we were down a goal, they were still very, should I say, vociferous or maybe loud.
They were trying to drown out City fans. Yeah,
they did well. Frequently traveling to play in, adjusting to the different environment conditions are followed by readjustment upon returning to England can have a detrimental impact on fitness and performance. I think I agree. Always put volume low when Tabaho joined and sing. Tabaho should come and join in the chat and cook you guys for cooking him. Big up, DJ. Much love to you. I'd prefer listening to the feedback on your microphone, bro. Just what did Tabaho do to you guys? Leave him alone. He's happy, and I'm happy. My bro is happy. He truly is magical as an ardent supporter of Pochettino. I am sovereign my third Big Mac. Big Macs, be careful with those while relishing the spectacles of Chelsea perspective. I appreciate you, brother. Much love to you. Palmer, Gallagher, and Stalin. What performance today? Kukurea, also excellent. Rich James had a Doku in his pocket. Yep. Expanding literally. Yep. If these boys can keep up their confidence, they can end up in the top 4. I think we can. And other teams are losing players left and right now to injuries. Mudryk was involved in our third goal. Yeah, I agree with you. For Jackson, stop the nonsense on him, not you, Coachella. Did you see that, Roger? He puts disclaimer in me.
What did he say? What did he do? I wasn't.
No, he starts with Mudryk was involved in the third goal, and then he says, "Stop the nonsense on him." Jackson, and then he puts this disclaimer in the middle, not you, Coachella, but the guy who commented it. Oh my goodness, Michi, you're taking on Rogers quack like a talk, blah blah.
That's funny.
No, excellent atmosphere. The fans were excellent on the day. Let's see what else we have here. I love this chat. These are real football enthusiasts. I agree with you. We keep it positive here as much as we can. And Pastor Daniel, I haven't seen you in a while. Roger, let's talk about the fans. They were indeed the 12th man today. Yeah. And that hasn't always been the case.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say something here. You could see from the very onset of the initial whistle that the tempo was extraordinarily high. It was back and forth with quality, by the way. You can watch
Mhm.
high tempo games quite often, but it lacks quality. It lacks that final, certain pass or finishing, etc. But this was of the highest order. And listen, the magnitude of the game speaks for itself. The last two English European champions. And I thought the first 10, 15 minutes, considering we conceded a very, shall we say, well, bad call. Let's just call it what it is.
Mhm.
And we kept in there, and I was worried, especially when they drew level at 2-2. I was thinking these chaps are going to go on, kick on, and then they scored early in the second half, and I got to admit, I did. It looked bleak in my opinion because I thought they were going to go into their top gear and just run us to the ground, and they didn't. And this crowd really were backing Chelsea from the moment that
Even
Plonker
after
blew the
conceding,
whistle.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
listen, so you could tell the first 10, 15 minutes were breathtaking. You could tell. And I was thinking, but how long can this continue for? Well, guess what? It continued to 100 minutes and then some. I was really proud of the boys. And you have to give credit to City. And I, with all due respect, Bobby, I respect you immensely, but I actually differ from your analogy with or your observation about City. I think they knew how good we were. They've seen us. They would have known how well we played against Liverpool,
And
Arsenal,
probably will be
and
concerned due
Spurs.
to the other
And
thing we talked about the other day. We're unpredictable. I think that must have been a concern for Pep. Go ahead.
yeah, I think he doesn't take us lightly. He knows. Listen, he's probably lost a lot of sleep, and he probably every night he puts his head on the pillow, he still thinks about that loss to us. And so I don't think he will allow the players to take us lightly because he's seen how we've played against other boys. I get your logic, Bobby. I truly do. I just think that, listen, he's one of the greatest coaches to ever, sit on the sideline. And I think he had his players prepped, and you could tell this was a heavyweight bout. This really was. This was a slugfest, and neutrals. We said this about last week's game. If you're Oldham Athletic, whatever team you support, and you watch the Tottenham Chelsea game, you would have come away going, "Wow, I would have paid money to watch that." And I think the same can be said about tonight's game. I think for all neutral fans from all over the world, they would have come away and going, "Wow, this Premier League product is outstanding." And I think they would come away saying Chelsea are for real.
We played them the only
Even I, as
way
a
they
Chelsea
could be
fan,
played.
I enjoyed that. Go ahead, Bobby. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we played them in view of what Roger said, the only way they could be played.
Yeah.
We did exactly what was needed because there was there is no other way to play City
But
other
Bobby,
than to take them on and
other teams do not have, and I mean this really respectfully, but they don't have the ammo
the
to go
quality.
toe to toe. Yeah, they just don't, and that's no disrespect. You're looking at a lot of the teams. I would say 15 other teams do not have the ability to go toe to toe with them.
Yeah, I agree.
And a lot of European teams, by the way, on the mainland. Let's not kid ourselves. And guess what? If we had, let's say, if we had parked the bus from the first second to now, we probably
They would
would
have
have.
slaughtered us.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been. I mean, it would have been triple X warning. It's not for your children to watch. It would have been a massacre. And there's very few teams that I think have the ability. And by the way, the legs. We cannot underestimate. If we're a veteran team, Fulham's the oldest team in the Premier League, by the way. It's 29 point something years, 6 years older than us. They won't have the legs to go for 90 minutes on a rainy pitch to go up and down and close them down. They just,
No.
we have the youth and we have the skill set, and it's that combination,
Yeah.
and I think that's very important to comprehend that aspect. That
Meanwhile, shout out to Desassi. I mean,
Yeah.
he really was a rock at the back. He
You
made up
preach
for a lot
about
of
that.
errors in Thiago Silva. Sorry.
You preach about physicality, Bobby, but it's no more apparent than when you see a Haaland. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
he's a beast,
No,
and you
we
know what?
needed every
Yeah,
inch of Desassi, and Holland dwarfs Desassi. So,
yeah. What does
you
that
know,
tell
he
you?
did a good job.
Yeah, I thought he had a. I'd have to watch it again, but I did notice he had a solid game. Um, I think honestly, I can't think of a player for Chelsea that played poorly. You know, I
None,
really
none.
can't.
Honestly, if we're being truthful, none. They all did very well, in my opinion. Bobby, let's hear you. The home fans, they were excellent when they. This is unusual, honestly. It's been a while since, again, I've seen them support the team like this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're very right. I mean, Chelsea away fans are usually where our pride lies because they take, they take no prisoners. But the home fans today really were the 12th man, and they needed to be.
Yeah,
Honestly, if they couldn't get up for this game against a team like City,
yeah,
it would have been a crying shame. And at one time, I had my concerns. When City went 1-0 up, we kind of allowed their voices to be heard in the stadium. But once we drew, I think a lot of that was what I was suffering from. Nobody really knows what to expect from this team because we don't know the team. We don't know our capabilities because we're incomplete. We're in we're unrehearsed, if I can use that term.
Please
And
do, please.
we're still we're still a work in progress, so nobody really knew what to expect. They're thinking, oh gosh, are we going to fold? Are we going to just collapse now? Are we, because City have all the gears to go up? And but we didn't. And when we showed the crowd that, look, we're in this for real and we're here to really play these guys, then the crowd got encouraged. A lot of the crowd is also the players. The attitude of the players does help the crowd. And you don't have to be winning, but you have to be fighting. And you have to be showing the crowd something. And these boys did that today. So, yeah, the home crowd, kudos. I mean, they really were the 12th man. But yet again, it was very much pushed by the players.
Yeah, it was. I think. Yeah, I think I agree. The players made them believe because even when we were a goal down, we were playing well too. In my opinion. Take care, Constantine Dante. Much love to you, Jay Z. Fans are warming up to Poch, bro. His passion today. When we went 2-1 up on the touchline. Fans loved it. There's a Poch song beginning. But it's not in full motion as yet.
Sorry,
The
coach.
composer
Not
is
not
still working on it. Go ahead.
coach.
It will be a matter of time. Go
Not
ahead, Bobby.
not just that. The reason why fans like, myself and the rest of us on this panel are beginning to respect Pochettino is that, he shows some serious tactical nous. And that's not easy against Pep
yeah.
Guardiola. I mean, you take off Caicedo, you take off Enzo, and it doesn't show. You shift Gallagher to play with Cole Palmer in midfield. Later on you bring on Ugo Chukwu. I mean, gosh, he did things today that I don't like going backwards, but quite frankly, Graham Potter would never have had the mentality to do. So
Objection, Your Honor.
yeah, so he is proving himself, and he's cooking with youngsters, and Chelsea fans love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
We love to see the young because we believe in our academy. I know these aren't all our academy products, but we're a team that, if you look at Chelsea's history, I keep saying this, Chelsea perform best when they build a team of youngsters. That's where we always get our success, whether it was in the old Division One winners in 1955, whether it was our League Cup victories, our first FA Cup, our Cup Winners' Cup. We all, our champion, our second Champions League, not the first, but we always get huge success when we build from youth upwards, and we're doing that again, and the fans love that. And if he gets a tune out of these kids, he's going to be, and if he does well, he's gonna be part of the Chelsea Immortals. Honestly, he will walk the grounds of people like Jose Mourinho. If he's successful with these kids, he will not be forgotten at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah. Guess what we're going to do? We will give those in the chat back the microphone. We'll come back on the panel. Pochettino wrote something on Instagram. I think you will like it, all of you. So, yep. What up? I think Poch is the man for the job. I've always said that. Trust me on that. I trust you. It was an excellent game. I love it. A best game for the last 3 years. I think you have to say that. And Gavin, please share the link to your share your Twitter handle or X handle so that I can add you to the panelist group so that you always pick up the link there and join us. Cole Palmer received a yellow card today for digging the penalty, taking spots before Haaland kicked. The guy is full of tricks and fearless. I like that kid, honestly. He leads, he can lead, but by example from what I've seen so far. Roger is correct about Pep not taking us lightly. If you listen to his post-match interview before the press conference, his expression says it all. He commended our team and the bench, Yep, and I think Jerry Z did say something to that effect too. Nkunku and Lavia still to integrate into the team. Thiago Silva had today superb. The way he placed it. Yep. And let's say, okay, I'm not sure what this brother is saying there, but nice to see you, brother. The machine will see you. We'll see you as if you're posting spam there, but nice to see you. Enjoy yourself. Just keep it simple. Let's see what else we have here. Anything else? Trust me, Bobby. The atmosphere at the bridge today was electric. Even when we were 1-0 down, the crowd was still excellent. Listen, if you go check my X account, you'll see me doing the poll. Every time I do the poll, I always ask match-going fans to see how people rate them. They've been rating them poor. But today, I have to say they were excellent. In all honesty, I was moved. And let them keep it up. These kids need that. They need that, in my opinion. Pochettino was spot on with the subs. Impressive, Vic. Nice to see you, Vic. I don't know when last did I see you. I hope you're good. Okay, here's what Pochettino has to say here. Pochettino has posted on Instagram. He says, we want to build something special, and this is exactly the way we want players to perform in the field. And here's the post here, the whole post here. He says, Pochettino extremely proud and happy of the players for the attitude and result they have produced in 2 difficult fixtures during this week. It is really satisfying to go to an international break with this feeling. Although I prefer we'll have another game more sooner, we all feel the same because the international break, it doesn't do us any favor. Sorry, I don't have that. That wasn't showing. And then he went on to say, we wanted to build something special at Chelsea, and this is exactly the way we want the players to perform. We were fearless today, and I like that. Already this season, we have had some highs and lows, some high and low moments, and the players are showing everyone the capacity they have to compete with any side. I like that part, to compete with any side. Thank you everyone for continuing to show such a great support for the team. I like that. And JT, like one of those that liked it and clapped for him with a blue heart there. I like that. 2 excellent games in succession. I love them. Roger, anything you want to say anything about that?
I think Bobby summed it up.
Ahead.
If you can't get up for this game, you can't get up for any game.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well be a librarian. It's that simple. I have to concur with everyone. I think Poch probably had his best game as a manager / coach. And by the way, it's his coaching staff also. It's not just him. It's a collective. And I don't know Bobby means that also. I think they got everything right. They really did. His nous, his football acumen, knowledge, the tactics, doing their homework. I think it takes a team. You have opposition research, that does that. Like Mourinho used to do for Sir Bobby, not you, Bobby, Sir Bobby. But you know,
Yeah.
I think honestly,
That's the
I think
opposition of research is actually a very important role. Go ahead, Ref.
yeah, and I think the whole team, the whole building, everyone on the staff in Cobham, it takes everyone. You know, it's a team event, not just a squad event. And I think they should all pat themselves on the back. That doesn't mean they have to stop and pop a bottle of bubbly and a cigar. No, this is just the beginning. But I think Poch had an outstanding game. He read the game. His substitutions. Bobby's right. He hit it on the nose. I have to see it for the second time to look at it in a more composed manner, a more analytical manner. But I thought it was an outstanding effort from everyone. I really do. As I said, I can't remember a game where we didn't have really one player that didn't play poorly. They're human, right? Everyone has a faux pas, but
They are, yeah.
collectively, yeah, you can say that, okay, this player gave away that ball and what have you, but realistically, I think they all played well, including City, by the way. I think this was a truly heavyweight, and it's like an El Clasico,
Anybody that
so to
loves
speak.
football will enjoy this one.
Yeah, appreciate it for its quality, for its
Mhm.
its tactical acumen. Everyone. There's
And it's entertainment. It was very entertaining.
There was only one person on the field that should have been given a red card, though, and that's the ref, obviously. Other than him, actually, I got to admit he did let the game flow, and even though I believe. I thought we came out on the short end of the stick. I did think he had a pretty good game, minus that big faux pas, giving them the penalty. But, I thought it was the VAR's decision to maybe highlight that was a clear and obvious error because Cucurella was fouled, but apparently not. But I'll be honest with you. I think I wouldn't be surprised. This will be a hard game to top, ladies and gentlemen, and coach. That was a cheap shot. I get it. I could resist. But seriously.
I wasn't paying attention, but go ahead.
But seriously, this will be a hard game to top. It seriously
Yeah.
will be. It was a great game. It makes you proud to be a Chelsea fan. But yeah,
it does. Yeah.
The future looks bright, but we need to translate this. Sorry to throw in the wet sock, but we need to translate this into how we break down teams also. I mean, not everyone is going to come out and go toe-to-toe with us because they will get taken apart.
The thing about this game that is very encouraging, not just for us going forward and the fact that, hey, look, we have work to do for sure. There are some things in the team that aren't really quite right, and we kind of papered over it by our sheer quality, really. But what this has done is that it's answered those people that try to diminish our victory against Spurs. Oh, they had 2 red cards. Oh, we shoulda, woulda, coulda done this. We beat them 4-1 on their patch. You know what I mean? It wasn't our fault that they were hacking our players and got red cards. And, we weren't given the correct flowers for that performance. But this has shown what we can do. And it's shown that performance against Spurs was no fluke. Spurs actually got away quite lightly because we really should have put them to the sword more.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just give me a second, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. 109 likes since the transfer window shut today. We got to 100 likes. I see my bro in the chat. Pochettino was spot on with the subs. Impressive. I think I agree. Coach, the more I look at this game, the more I realize how lucky Spurs were not to get an absolute slapping from us. Cole Palmer penalty. Let's not forget to a pressure penalty against his boyhood club. Slotted in beautifully. I think I agree with you. As soon as Enzo came off, we were directing the midfield and better. That's not to say he was that bad, but the manager had to take him off. He didn't look his usual self. Yep, I haven't seen it. That's why I say send me your your handle, and then I'll try to be the one to say initiate the message. And my bro is in the house, Almighty Blues FC. Nice to see you, Anki. My brother from another mother. If you haven't, please go and subscribe to his YouTube channel, Almighty Blues FC and Almighty Sports Plus. Two channels. Please go subscribe. Let's help him get to 20,000 as soon as possible. Appreciate you. Big up, bros. What a game, and so satisfying to see us come back 3 times in a single game, even though we deserve the win, if not for the lack of luck and VAR refs. I think I agree with you. I still see these as a win, bro. But please go check out my bro's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him grow. Hopefully, in the future, we will win all these games like the ones versus Liverpool and Arsenal and City. Up the Charles. Let's go. Carefree, wherever we may be, we are the famous CFC. I love this. I have to say, this is a delicious comment of the day from my bro from another mother. We know what we are. We will be back. Work in progress. Gotta have this mentality versus mid-table teams too. Yeah, you said everything, but that BUT comes into play. But yeah, on our day, we can do wonders. I think I agree. KF, nice to see you. And it says the need to maintain this momentum, majesty. I think I agree. Let's see it. Roger, anything else? Bobby, you want to talk? I think, has Bobby spoken about this from Pochettino? Has he? If he has,
what from Pochettino?
saying let me read the most important part. It says we want to build something special at Chelsea, and this is exactly the way we want players to perform. There's another part, and another interesting part. I think that's it. That's the most important part of the whole thing.
Absolutely, and you know his words resonate in what's been happening. You know, even when we've had some of these dodgy games like Brentford and Nottingham Forest and Villa, West Ham in particular, where we played so well and did a bit of a brain fart in the second half, you could see that it's not for want of, you know, we played well actually, and we showed a lot of ability. And even where, you know, people were low blocking us and we looked like we were running out of ideas, you can see that this is a team that's in the making. It's a team that needs to rehearse. They need to train together. They need to play together more and more. And with each passing game, with each returning injury, with each extra training session, we're beginning to see something special indeed evolve. It wouldn't surprise me if we get some of these injured players back and they're fit and they're integrated into the team. If we don't, with these youngsters, go on some sort of run, and it will do them mentally a lot of good, to build for the future. So we're building something, but as a fan base, we've got to be patient because sometimes there's going to be the wobble, you know, like that second goal, the equalizing goal from Akanji. I thought that was typical Chelsea wobble, albeit from our most senior player. But, you know, these are the things that show that we're building. So we should have hope. We shouldn't be overconfident at all. We should know that there's work to be done. But an element of fear factor is coming back in. People will come to Stamford Bridge not very sure of what they're going to face. And I'll tell you something. Jackson's goal showed me something.
He looked
We
composed, didn't he?
Not just that, we got a scrambled goal, more or
Mm.
less a scrambled goal. So that is a warning to all those that think they're going to come here and play the low block. We're beginning to stretch our legs, suss out our feet, and put the ball in the net still. And I think if, you know, one team's going to come here and try and low block and end up getting a big hiding, it's on the card. Trust me, it's on the
Sure.
cards. These kids are well and truly capable of doing that.
Yeah, take them to the cleaners, right?
Absolutely. Even when these teams came and did a low block, it's just that we weren't finishing. You know, we should have actually scored a number, but we weren't finishing. But once we start finishing, they're in trouble. it's no way to play this team. In fact, this team, we're still learning them, not to mention the opposition. Oh, yes.
Yep. Something I see in the chat, and we have to talk about it. And it's about Bobby. It's nothing wrong, nothing. Nobody's accusing you. We're just having fun. But we're gonna get to that in a bit. It's funny. More low blocks incoming. Yeah. Now we're concerned about low blocks. Bobby went from being negative before the game to preaching that we should believe. Yes, Poch got him. I like that one. So, Roger, anything else you guys want us to talk about? We haven't. Have we looked at? We looked at Gallagher's number, didn't we? We did, right?
Yes.
Anybody else you want us to look at their numbers? Can we just look at Cucurella for the sake of it? You think?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd love to actually.
Okay, let's go for it. I think he was, and his thing. Something else I liked about his performance today. He wins the ball and still progresses very well. Actually, I only used to think that he's good at finding passing lanes. I think that's a good dribbler in him actually. And
He
can
reminds
pass
you
the-
of Chile, doesn't
Yeah.
he? Too soon.
And he can actually pass the ball effectively with both feet, in my opinion. Let's see. Minutes played 19 minutes, assist 0, accurate passes 31 out of 37, 84%, and that's excellent. Chances created 1, considered penalty 1. I could say that could have gone either way. Expected assist 0.01, XG plus assist 0.01. Touches 58, passes into the final third 2. Accurate long balls 2 out of 4, 50%. Not bad, but it's still poor. Tackles 1, 3 out of 4, 75%. That's excellent. Blocks 1, clearances 2, interceptions 1, defensive actions 10 in total, recoveries 2, dribbled pass twice, duels 1, 6, duels lost 4, ground duels 1, 6 out of 10, 60%. Not bad because that's a lot. Was fouled 2 times. I think it was a solid performance from him, in my opinion. And probably you could say the yellow reduced led to him playing. You could say he's not as aggressive as that he usually can plays throughout the game. I think he reduced his assertiveness, for lack of a better term. But let's hear you, Raja.
About what, sir? Sorry, I'm multitasking. Oh, on next 3 games.
Did you doze off? I was talking about Korea.
No.
We looked at his numbers.
Yeah, so listen, I don't think looking at individuals, I think the eye test is more important.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to be a bit different, when you see it for the second time. But I came away from this game looking, and I know because you're not at the game, you don't get to see the panoramic view per se.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought each and every player looked very strong. They really did. It was just an outstanding performance. And as much as I love looking at numbers, I still think that this was a very, very solid performance by all members. Just everything. We used our width also, but we were also able to progress up the middle, especially that Palmer, that Maradona impression.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a good, solid team that we played against. A good is an understatement. That's an insult.
One of the best teams in the world football right now.
Yeah, if not the. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if you took a poll from every manager in the top 5 leagues in Europe, they would all concur that. Listen, I can't think of one player for us that looked even average. I thought they played very well. They played within themselves. And I think it's the fact that the coach, the manager, however you want to term it, the coaching staff, put them in a position to succeed with a solid game plan and tactical knowledge. I think it really helped them. And they're getting used to this system, whether it's 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 or a box 4 in the middle, very impressed. I honestly didn't think that the game would turn out this way tonight. Not that I'm pessimistic, I'm just realistic.
Mm-hmm.
I thought on 1-0 or 2-1 or even a 2-0, as long as we weren't taken behind the woodshed and given a spanking, like a 5 or 6-0. Other than that, I would have accepted a narrow defeat tonight. Just being honest with you, because that's a great team. But to be honest with you, when we were down 4-3, my actual train of thought was, this is an injustice. We do not deserve to come away from this game with 0 points. And I thought that at the very least we deserved 1 point. I cannot emphasize that enough, because that would have been a travesty, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Our next 3 games in Newcastle, Brighton, and Manchester United. Now, look, no low block for a while.
Yeah, no, I agree.
There, we can pick up our wins in all 3 of them. As simple as that, honestly. And I correctly predicted. I correctly predicted that Brighton will end 1-1 draw. Go ahead, Roger.
Start talking like that. It's one game at a time.
No, it is. But
okay.
But I'll say one thing though. I've watched 2/3 to 3/4 of United's game this season, and they play. It's so poor. I mean, they barely beat a team 1-0 that we beat 3-0 and we dominated. I think, yes, on any given day, anyone could beat anyone. But if we play up to our potential, we will manhandle United. Brighton,
they always get up for it when they.
Yeah, no, of course they do. Yeah, and I agree with you on that. I've seen that many a time where the week before they play horrendously, and the following week. But when it comes to us, they get up for us. I totally agree. Brighton, yeah, they have a very good manager, have a good setup, but I'm not worried about them. And as for Newcastle, they're experiencing what it's like to be in Europe, rotating your squad, the wear and tear on the players, the minutes accumulated, the injuries, etc., etc., etc. It's that simple. I honestly, I don't fear them.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't fear them.
I don't.
Assuming we play to a high level that we've seen against Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, ding, and City. If we can play to our potential and we don't incur any more injuries, I think you're looking at a very solid team moving forward. But these are teams that don't employ the low block, so we should be able to come away with, let's say, 7 out of 9 points from those 3 games, realistically.
Yeah, I do agree with you. A thought for Manchester United, who refused to pay 3 million for Cucurella, but paid 55 million for Mouth. I think they would. I don't want to get into that, but I'm glad we didn't sell Cucurella. We didn't even send him on loan. Maybe we knew exactly what we were doing when we started him in the cup game. Maybe we knew, Roger. There's a chance we knew what we were doing. No low block. Nkunku should have again a field in front of goal. Yep, I hope he recovers fully. Sterling has been involved in 10 out of Chelsea's last 16 goals. Richard, nice to see you. Jakovsky, thank you for that information there. I appreciate that. I should have said a field day in front of goal. A typo. No worries, bro. I think I understood that was what you meant. Hi, people having a conversation there. And it says that Starling has been involved. Yep, I understood that was what you meant. What you meant there. Palmer's run today from midfielder when he went past 3 City players and was so unlucky not to have scored from that run. Would have been you say that could have been a delicious goal. Oh my goodness, that kid is so confident and he's arrogant. He's so confident in his ability, and I like that bit of arrogance, honestly. Wow. Let me hear you, Roger. You wanted to add something to that.
Yeah, you're talking about the his run was very Maradona-esque.
My goodness.
And another cynical player would have gone down. And
that's where experience comes in. Let's not say not even say cynical player. Experience comes in there.
And let's be honest, there's a good chance that he could have been awarded a penalty for that, But actually, the keeper made an outstanding save. Had he just tried to chip the keeper, and he had plenty of room to do that. But listen, things are going 100 miles an hour, and you're off balance, etc. I'm really, I cannot emphasize this. I'm so pleasantly surprised how well he has hit the ground running for Chelsea. Palmer, I'm talking about. He looks like a 25 to 28-year-old player in the prime of his career, which we all know he's far from it. The only thing that can stop him is injuries.
And boy, he's under the right manager to help him reach there.
He's
honestly.
a baller. Let's be honest.
And if any person will help him reach the height that they can, he's meant to reach, in my opinion, Pochettino is the man. Coach quoting CFC fan, Carefree Lucy, today the boys gave it everything. Indeed, they did.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. Palmer needs to score not just penalties. Wow. Give him credit, but he is young and needs a time. When Nkunku returns to take a penalty, so Palmer will have nothing to show. They're not going to change him. Palmer, mark my words, Palmer will continue taking penalties for us. Yep, I don't think it makes sense to say now Nkunku is back. You're going to stop taking penalties. No, I think he will continue. Yeah. I don't see that happening because he's that good. Big up Richard. Yes, indeed, Sterling is involved. Okay, having a conversation there, but it goes in last 2 games only. Yeah, and we've been saying we don't score goals, and we scored 8 in two games, and it could have been 10 in 2 games. Actually, had 2 not been ruled out. We will beat the low block teams in the future. I think we will. Bobby, I agree. We have to take each game as they come. I am confident because we stopped a treble winning a team today. So I look at Brighton, Newcastle, and United. We can beat them. That's the language. We can beat them.
Hello, DJ. By the way, always a pleasure.
Yeah, DJ. Bobby saying hello to you.
Bobby?
Good evening, everyone in the chat. Aja, good evening to you too, Mr. Aja. Stalin and Thiago Silva were fire. I think Stalin today, I don't know what he ate, but he has to tell me what that was. He's never been this good for Chelsea because this is against a big team. And one of the concerns. Go ahead.
Would you say this is the best game he's played thus far for Chelsea?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'll say.
Yeah. He
was needed.
Yeah, no, he had one great game. And I think we lost the game, and he was man of the match. And I thought he played outstanding in that game. But I think this game surpasses that.
Yeah, and plus it's a big game. And our concern has always been he doesn't show up against the big boys. And the last time we played Man City, he was poor. Bobby, go ahead. Sorry, I know you wanted to say something, so we can call it a day.
No, I've said it. Certainly against City, he needed to show up. And boy, did he.
Yeah.
We could ask no more of Sterling today.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. Anybody else has anything else to say before we call it a day? I think it's been an excellent show. I was so overjoyed that I thought, we have to talk about it right now. And we'll still do the player ratings tomorrow, hopefully by the grace of God. The overpriced, over-the-counter item in Georgia, Roger, big up. Roger, the sort of love they show you in the chat here. I don't know.
Wow, I'm feeling the love.
No, Roger is a valuable member of the team.
It's called inflation, Chimera. Inflation.
To be fair to Sterling, he has been good lately. I think I get it. He's not been performing consistently, but you have to say, I agree, he's been one of our best performers this season so far. But anybody else, and Roger, anything else you want to say?
No, a great show, Coach. And obviously, I think that's helped tremendously from the product we saw in the field today. But I cannot say enough. Seriously, it's been an absolute pleasure, as always, to be with you, chaps. Bobby,
I do
as
agree
always.
with you, Bobby.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much, Roger. Bobby,
great show.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you. Bobby, you have anything else to say?
No, I've got nothing else to add. It's been, it's been a pleasure, and it's been a nice revelation of what the team did today.
Yeah,
I think
refreshing.
Every Chelsea fan should be very pleased with the performance today and the result.
Yep, I agree with you. Thank you so much, Bobby. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Let's see, and that's not a fully fit Bobby. Actually, we have to be honest with that. Sterling was involved in both goals against Arsenal, and the big games almost single-handedly dragging England to the Euros final. No, if we're talking about the Premier League, but here's the thing: he's a good player. I just want him to be consistent, and that's it. I think Sterling's game has gone up due to Palmer being in the team. Possibly. Wow, I never thought of that. But that's right. I want to say thank you to all of you for finding the time to participate in the show. Cannot thank you enough. And my bro DJ, much love to you. I appreciate you. Richard, much love to you. And Chimera, much love to you. Chimera, Ajao Yedikachi, much love. And JC, much love to you. And Jerry Z, also, who was in the house. And Blue, Tiff again, much love to all of you. And if I miss your name, apologies. I'll see you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.
Good night, chaps.